Hi. Too much. Too much. There. Now you guys should be able to hear me. I'm very sorry. That was ridiculous. Dude, I talked for so freaking long. Oh, God, guys, I'm sorry. It's because I have to open an app to my microphones, and then because that app changes my settings, I have to go into my settings and change everything. Anyway, hey, guys. All I was saying before is anti-animal use will be live this Saturday. On the ground, interviewing people about fairness and asking Portlanders if they believe in fairness. Do they think that they are fair? And trying to see if they're consistent with their own principles. So please come check us out. Anti-animal use, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. PST time. Please come and join us in the chat, support us. Talk to other non-vegans to maybe get them to change their minds. That's really the whole point, is not changing minds, but to see people who agree with our principles, who are just not living in alignment with their own principles on that, and being like, you know what? Yeah, it's the right thing to not demand someone's exploitation, and I'm going to live that truth because I believe that. Yeah, sorry about the no sound. Yeah. Hey, it's good to see you, Ozell. Ben the Vegan Farmer, by the way, thank you for letting me know that my mic wasn't on. I really appreciate you. Thank you, Frisia. Yes, you as well. It's good to see you guys. TVP, hi. Hello. Vegan Siren, good morning. Oh, yeah, I could be pretending to be the animals that don't have a voice. I mean, they do have a voice. They are very vocal. We just don't always listen. Yay. Okay, it's cool to see you guys. Let me check out. Hey, YouTube, what's going on? Oh, let me give you the link. Oh, shoot. I'm trying to, for YouTube, make my image as big as possible, which, by the way, let's switch back. There we go. But because I have it stretched so it's so big, it's off my frame, so I can't share the link. And I would like to do that, so give me 2 seconds here. Oh my gosh, so loud. Why? That's weird. Well, then, okay. We'll just copy the link to my account and put that into the YouTube live. Yay. Hey, there we go. Oh shoot, it's gonna double it. No, okay. Link to TikTok. I should put TikTok request. Oops. Request. And then we'll put the link in there. Bam. And then we'll pin that. All right, YouTube, you are now officially able to get to the live. Congratulations. Any non-vegans in there feel like they have any arguments against veganism? I challenge you, click on that link and request up. Actually, speaking of which, where is my... There it is. Oh, hey, what's up? Hey, Lori. I hope you weren't waiting long. Are you there?
Oh, yeah, I'm here.
Oh, hey. Hey, I hope you weren't waiting long. I wasn't looking at my list.
Oh, yeah. How you doing this morning?
Oh, I'm doing okay. I definitely didn't want to leave my pillow for sure. But, but you know, you gotta. You want to make change in the world, you got to get off that pillow. So.
That's true, right? I hear you.
Yeah. Well, yeah, how are you doing?
I'm doing okay. Just, hanging out, just I didn't want to get off my pillow either because I had to work really late last night. So,
Oh,
but
yeah, for sure. Especially if you're
yeah,
working. Yeah, that makes it
yeah.
harder. Yeah.
And it's hard when you have two fur babies that jump on you when they want to eat in the morning. So they keep me awake.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you don't need to sleep. We're hungry.
Yeah, exactly. That's always what it's food time. You know, that's their
Yeah,
paw
it's
on your
really the
face.
cat.
Hey.
Yeah, my cats come up and they just like stare at me, and I know something's there, or they'll like meow in my face.
Oh, yeah.
Or yeah, so
That's so
they're
cute.
hungry. So I'll
Yeah.
get them fed.
Little fur babies.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it.
All right, you got
All right.
anybody coming up? Want to come up
Yeah, it looks
or?
like we have a request. So before I bring you up present moment, I'm just going to quickly go over my background since I just started. Why aren't you vegan yet? 18 and older only. And oh, thank you, Jason. I just saw your message. And then the resources, I got resources here. So I just really encourage everyone who is not currently vegan, please watch Dominion because be an informed consumer. You should know exactly what it is you're demanding. Dominion is just a great breakdown of standard practices and it's free on YouTube. And everyone should watch it, regardless of what you do. And then nutritionfacts.org, if you watch that and decide that you do want to take action, but you don't know where to start, your diet is actually a great place to start because it's more often where the most exploitation happens. But you should pay attention to every choice. Every time you're in the store buying a product, you should be paying attention to what you're purchasing. So nutritionfacts.org is great. They have the vegan Daily Dozen. They just call it the Daily Dozen. And you find they have studies they've broken down in videos, like the conclusions and whatnot. And you can go look up the studies yourself, which I do encourage you. Oh, yes, my kitty that I take to the vet. That's right. That's what you guys saw last time. She's fine. They didn't find anything wrong with her. They think it was probably related to just holiday stress, people coming over. We had my mom over, and then we had a handyman constantly coming into our house, like multiple days afterwards. And she doesn't like other people, so I think it was just stress induced. So yeah, thank you for checking in. She's okay. And then my last resource is veganeasy.org. If maybe, it's kind of overwhelming to look at the studies, which I understand. Their Daily Dozen, though, is just a checklist. It's nothing complicated. But the Vegan Easy is nice because you have someone you can actually communicate with. They provide kind of a social network so you can talk to other people that are new to veganism and trying to, figure out how to overcome their obstacles because they truly want to do this. So it's nice to have other people that you can talk to about your obstacles, or maybe you can help them with their obstacles. And then they also have a dietitian that can make meal plans for you. So that's the benefit of having the Vegan Easy. With that said, I appreciate everyone that has requested and is being patient. Let's have present moment come up. Hey, present moment, are you over 18?
Yeah,
Was
yeah,
that a
I
yes?
am.
Oh, okay, sorry, it kind of cut out there. Why aren't you vegan yet?
I guess out of convenience, and I think like there's obstacles at becoming vegan. Like if you wanted like I think it's really easy to become like nutrient deficient in a lot of aspects. Like if you're not educated and have like the resources to be able to fill those gaps in your recommended like nutritional um, recommendations. Like I think that's really easy. So it's like hard to make the like it's hard to make the transformation to become like a full vegan. Like I'm vegan curious, and like sometimes it's like I'll eat a lot of pulses and do like you know um me. I think I would lean more towards like vegetarian
Hmm.
than like completely vegan. So like I mean I you guys believe what you believe, and like you have I think you're morally I think people that want to become complete like vegan, like I appreciate and respect that. Like your beliefs are the foundation of your lifestyle choices. So like, you know, props to you for that. But it's not easy, I don't think.
Okay,
Like you all
so
like
so is the reason why you're not vegan? Because I heard kind of some multiple reasons, but I wasn't sure if they were actually for you or if you're talking about people as a whole. I only really want to know what's stopping you from being vegan and, what's holding you back. That's all I want to know.
Yeah, I would say those reasons are for me personally.
Okay,
Like
so nutrition,
personally,
cost, and access? Is that
yeah.
okay? So if I could give you information that, could fulfill those needs, does it feel like you have this moral obligation to live vegan? Or do you still think it's a personal choice between each person?
Um, I think like it's a personal choice between each person. Like my more moral obligation may be like be- to be like I guess either pescatarian or or vegetarian. Like I don't believe like you're like for me personally, I think like c- cow product like cottage cheese and stuff like that is like literally I don't see any moral turpitude in like consuming those things. I don't
Can you
understand.
tell
Maybe
me,
it's lack of it.
yeah, can you tell me what you understand veganism to mean?
Veganism is like is not like to withstand from consuming any type of animal produced product. So like you can't have milk. You can't have like I already don't drink milk just for because I don't care for it. But I
It,
mean
it's
like
not about can't, it's about not wanting to. I don't want to use those products. And it's those, I mean, you're on the right path in the line of thinking you're going towards, but veganism is ultimately just a principled stance against the exploitation of others. So let's say someone was keeping you in a cage and exploiting you for some benefit, and they were able to take that benefit to market so they could sell it. I wouldn't give that oppressor my money because I know that you're not being respected and that you're a sentient being who cares about what happens to you. That's what veganism means. Does that make sense?
yeah, it does.
Does
It
it
does.
sound
It's just
like
yeah.
does it sound like it aligns with your own principles? Like if you saw someone else being enslaved, would you give their oppressor money so that you can benefit from that oppression?
Yeah, no, I'd feel morally corrupt for that. But it's just like in some cultures, like India, for instance, like they consume milk and different like cow products. They don't eat cow. They would never because they
So
keep
what
them and
what
like
does
care for them.
exploitation mean?
Taking advantage, I believe it's like to
Yeah,
take advantage of
to
something.
use unfairly for your benefit. Do you think it's fair to make someone become pregnant so that you can drink their breast milk?
Mm, yeah, yeah, it sounds weird. That sounds.
Yeah, that's common for any dairy. Mammals only produce milk once they've given birth. So to get any milk from any animal, they must have a baby first. And in order to have a baby, the humans make sure that they get pregnant, either by their own hand, which is most of the time, or they put them in a situation where they can't escape and a male does what they want to them. Does any of that sound fair?
Um, well, when you put it in that context, it doesn't sound fair, but it sounds. It also like my brain also thinks like that's typically what would maybe happen in nature, and like like
But
maybe
see,
not unwanted. Like it's like maybe the cow does want to get pregnant.
okay, so we
I
could
can't.
say the same thing with humans, right? We could start breeding humans in order to drink their breast milk. And we could make the argument that, hey, we're giving life to somebody, at least they get to live. Do you see how that kind of slips into justifying human slavery? Because you're making the excuse that, well, at least I'm giving them life. You're saying the same thing for the cow. At least the cow is existing so I can use her. It's okay because I'm the one that brought her into existence.
Oh, no, I'm not saying that. Like I just
Well, she
I'm
wouldn't
just saying
exist
like
in nature. So the idea that nature, like a predator, would tear her apart, that's not the options. The options are don't birth her into existence, or she's going to have to exist in the world. And most often when you force someone into existence to benefit off of their exploitation, you do it because they're beneficial. And as soon as they run out of benefits for you, the costs outweigh the benefits. So often you get your life taken from you. I don't know about you, I would never take that deal. If I gave you room and board, I fed you 3 times a day, full meals, belly rubs, Netflix subscription, would you take a deal? Would you take that deal that I get to decide when you die? I get to take your life at my own convenience.
And what's the alternative? Like I don't live or exist.
Either, yeah, you just don't exist, or you are born and I use you for my purposes, whatever that is. But you have at least a really high welfare place, and I get to take your life whenever it's convenient. Or if you have family, I get to decide to split you up because it benefits me.
I mean, that's really tough. I mean, like, it's not great. I don't like.
So you're telling me you're okay with human slavery?
I feel like I'm already wasn't asked to be here. I never asked to be.
Are you okay with human slavery?
I mean, like, I literally am in human slavery.
Are you okay with human slavery?
No.
Okay, I'm glad we agree. Can you tell me why you are against human slavery?
Because I don't think people should have authority over somebody else's well-being or their life.
What if I'm really nice to them? Like I said before, I give them their own room, I feed them 3 times a day, but they have to do what I say. They're my slaves.
Yeah, I still don't like it.
I agree. I wouldn't want that done to me. So why does it matter the welfare when ultimately we're robbing someone of their freedom and their autonomy for no reason? There's no actual justification to do this to animals.
Yeah. No, I was just like, I wish there was a better way that
There is. It's leaving them alone and living vegan, because we have vegan meat. We have vegan steaks. We have Sunnyside fried eggs. We have hard-boiled eggs. We have even the hardest things that used to not be, there was an alternative. We have those now. And even before we had those, you could get all your needed nutrition. I try to eat more of a whole food, plant-based diet than any of the junk foody stuff. And I can still get everything I need.
What do you mostly consume, like pulses and stuff?
I do like beans and pulses. I kind of rotate what I'm eating. It's just whatever I get at the store. I'll get a can of black beans, chickpeas, black lentils or brown lentils. Those are usually the ones I kind of rotate through. And I'll either mix it into my pasta. I have a bean-based pasta because this isn't veganism, but we're trying to avoid gluten. You can eat gluten as a vegan. It's nothing against animals, but some people get that confused. But the pasta, I eat pasta with some of my beans in there, or I'll make rice and I'll just add the beans, and we'll usually cut up whatever vegetables are in the fridge. There's usually 1 or 2 vegetables in there, so.
Yeah, nice. I think the Indians have a good stance. I don't know if you like spicy food, but I mean, like, they seem to make it work. I think
yeah, spices are great. Spices are plants and minerals.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can make anything taste good if you add the right spices, for sure.
Sorry.
Oh, okay, go ahead. I didn't realize you were going to say something. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I mean, I believe, the only problem is, aren't there, because, I was kind of leaning that way and trying to avoid more meat products, but, I believe, pulses and stuff like that, they have nutrients, unless, I mean, you can mitigate some of that by soaking them for a prolonged period, or.
I mean, I buy canned beans and stuff, so they've already been soaked and then washed. And then, if you're worried about, what was it that's in beans that everyone's so afraid of? I forgot what it was. If you cook the
Is
beans,
it?
though, what? Do you remember what it was?
No, I just know like in tofu, like tofu was like the soy products, like the products. A lot of it is like they use like unfortunately like um the producers use a certain like pesticide that is like um de- devastating to
How is
like
this stopping
your
you from being vegan, though?
production. Um, I think it might. It's it's not really. I mean, like just limited, you're limited in options, but I guess it's just hard to make a full transformation. Like
Yeah,
when you've used to meat products your whole life, it's
sure.
like so
Yeah, I can
I
understand
think that's
change
what.
being kind of overwhelming. If you look at my resources, I actually have some great things you could flip through. Nutritionfacts.org is just a website that their goal is to provide like a public service of breaking down science, like studies, breaking them down so people can understand them and actually grasp the conclusions of studies. And you can go read them yourself too. You shouldn't let other people tell you what a study says, but it's convenient. So I like that website for that. And they also came out with a checklist based off of the science, which is a whole food plant based diet and how to get everything you need in a day. So if you just Google vegan Daily Dozen, it'll pop up. If you open images, you'll see it immediately. It'll say Dr. Greger's Daily Dozen. And like I said, it's just whole foods, and they have little categories. You know, it's like you need 3 servings of protein, which they suggest beans, and they have a whole list of different legumes and pulses that you could choose from. And then you got your fruits and your vegetables and so on. So that's usually the first place I point people to is the Daily Dozen. It's just really easy to make sure you get everything in a day, and that way, if you eat other things, you eat like junk food or whatever, you've got everything covered. And that's actually why I take like a supplement, is because on the days that I don't really care to pay attention to what I'm eating, I'll be lazy and take supplements because I know I got everything and then I can just eat whatever. So once you figure out how to eat, which I like the Daily Dozen, and once you get into this habit of checking off these boxes, it becomes second nature. And it took me like maybe a month to figure out my new habits and to practice them. But after that, like I said, it's just not even a second thought.
Yeah, it's a habit forming, right? Like I'm sure, like at
Yeah.
first it's difficult, and then it's second nature. But
Yeah.
I took note of all your resources, so I'm
Cool.
gonna look into it further.
Hell
It's
yeah.
just like I said, like vegan curious. Like I know I have like my uncle's vegan. Like like he's not super strict. Like he'll indulge in the occasional fish, but his mainly sticks is pretty like he's
Well,
pretty
why does he call himself vegan?
I'm not sure that he does. Like I
Oh,
look at
okay.
him like he
I see.
abstains from
So the difference
products all
is
the time.
he's a vegetarian or plant-based at best. Plant-based means though that they're not eating any animal products. So I would probably call him a pescatarian because he's still eating someone's body. Fish are sentient. They have nociception, so that means they feel excruciating pain, especially when you pull them out of the water. They have connections they remember faces. They have preferences of individuals they prefer to be around. So I wouldn't say that your uncle's vegan, but it sounds like he knows how to eat quite a bit without using animals, which is great. But he doesn't have the ethics behind it, which is what veganism is. Veganism is saying, I don't appreciate someone using arbitrary traits against somebody else to justify oppressing them, which is called speciesism, and that's what people who use animals are doing. It's like racism, this arbitrary trait of race or species, and saying because you're different, regardless of the fact that you can suffer and you have preferences, I'm going to ignore that because you're not in my group. So that's the difference.
Yeah, yeah, no, I see the moral compass behind like your stance. I can
Well,
understand
does
it,
it
and
sound
I can
different from
see
your
how
moral
that is wrong.
compass?
It's just no, I would align with that, but it's like it's something that like we're just you were brought up and raised.
I was too.
Like it's the norm of
Yeah.
Yeah, the norm of
I wasn't brought
society
up
as a
vegan.
whole.
My family is not vegan. I came across a book about how to get skinny. It was called Skinny Bitch. And it talked about getting thin. That's why I originally went plant-based. I learned a little bit about the animals while I was reading that book, but it's not the same as like seeing it. And when I finally started to watch documentaries, that was when it hit me. I was like, oh my God, like there's no way that I would ever want to trade places with that individual because they're not free. Their autonomy is not being protected or respected. It's being violated, and their families are being split up. And I just couldn't imagine that being me and accepting that as my reality. That would be terrible, even if I get belly rubs. So that's what it is. I kind of want to end the conversation because I don't want you to talk yourself out of it. I want you to kind of hold on to what we have covered because you sound open-minded, like you're understanding what I'm saying. So I just encourage you, maybe when you leave this live, go watch Dominion on YouTube. It's free. And like I said, it just shows you what it is that has to happen in order for the animal to make it to your plate or be a coat or whatever. They cover all the different ways that we use animals. And so it's important you know what the truth is so you're not vulnerable to these companies kind of hypnotizing you into thinking the animals are consenting to this. So, would you be willing to watch
Okay, yeah,
Dominion?
yeah, that's fair. I'm just gonna go off on a limb and assume like the movie is pretty like gruesome. It's like,
It's standard practice. It's just what has to happen. What farmers are doing with animals in order to keep them sanitary, to keep them, from getting sick and getting them to slaughter weight and all of those things. It just covers what needs to happen in order to have animals be your source of whatever. When we could get it
yeah,
from other sources that aren't as icky, right? Like watching tomatoes or strawberries or broccoli being processed isn't grim, right? It's not hard to watch that. Why is
yeah,
it so
no,
hard to watch animals,
yeah, because I guess they share like um, traits that this is similar traits that we do. I mean, you could say the same. Like vegetables are living, uh, they're like living entities as well. And
They're living,
and
but they're
it's
not
hard
sentient.
sentient. That's the word. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're not living in the same way as you or another animal is, another non-human animal. They aren't, they are alive, but they don't have a brain or nervous system, so they can't feel pain. Not at this time. Science doesn't list them as sentient.
Yeah,
And
I
oh, go
just
ahead. Sorry.
yeah, no, I was just like wondering because like I mean, it's hard to say whether or not they feel. Maybe they don't feel pain the same way, but to say that they don't feel pain at all is, I think,
Even if they
uh,
did, even if they did feel pain, we breed more plants into existence to feed the animals that we use. So if your concern is for the plant welfare, right? If you're saying a plant equals an animal, well, you're just increasing the harm because you have to feed those animals plants. And they did a study on this. It's called Reducing Food's Environmental Impacts Through Producers and Consumers. And they found that we're dedicating 83% of our current agricultural land, the land that we farm on, we're using 83% of it to raise animals alone, like them and their food. And they discovered that if we stopped farming animals, if we stopped breeding them, we could actually feed more people because we're 8.5 billion, something like that right now. And we have starving people because of the way the system is set up. Yet we're producing so much food. So if we stopped farming animals, we could literally feed 10 billion people fully nutritious, rounded out diets. And at the same time of feeding 10 billion people, we could rewild the land equivalency of America and Brazil combined and use it for whatever. Solar panels, more housing, like I said, rewilding, give it back to the original stewards. Whatever we want to do, we greatly reduce our agricultural land use and feed more people. So if we're worried about plant sentience, which is what we were talking about, we would grow fewer plants into existence that would have to suffer.
yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, no, I'm not sure.
No, that's a fact. So
Just
it's
trying to
a
drive home
very
that
well
like
studied. I shouldn't call it fact, but go look up that study. They go over thousands of farms in hundreds of countries. It's not tiny. It's a big study. It was a big deal that it came out. So I encourage you to go read it because it's pretty jaw-dropping what we're doing right now. But even if it was, like I said, if we're worried about plants and animals, if I had to choose between them to survive, I'm going to eat the plants because the plants are clearly less of something, whereas animals are very clearly more sentient than us, or not more, they're just as sentient as us. If you poke an animal with a sharp object, they're going to react and move away. They're going to change their behaviors. If you do it to a plant, they don't do anything because plants don't make preferences. There's no, evolutionarily speaking, there's no advantage to them being sentient because they're stuck in the ground. Feeling pain has no benefit for them, whereas for us, for sentient beings, it helps us get away from, a predator or something. It helps us stay safe. There's a reason why we have these, it aided us as we evolved. So plants are not sentient as far as we're fully aware. And like I said, even if they were, to choose between them, I'm going to choose the less of the richness, I guess, the least harm I can do if it really comes down to that.
Yeah, the least of two evils, if you want to look at it like that.
Yeah, but the plants are not sentient. They don't make preferences. In fact, many plants allure us to use them. Fruits, they smell good, right? They use bright colors to attract us. So it's not even that, it's not that plants have that preference, but it aids them for us to use them because they actually the plants are actually drawing us in to spread their seeds. They've been most successful by doing that.
Yeah, I love eating fruits and vegetables, so I guess it would.
I just don't want to.
Really not that hard.
Yeah, I don't want you to talk yourself out of it. I think you're starting to overthink it. When you start to get into the plants are sentient topic, it's because you're just grasping at straws, and no pun intended there. But I think I'm gonna end the conversation here. I just want you to go watch Dominion, and then after you watch that, if you want to, please come back and talk to me. And I'd love to know if it changed your mind or if you just feel the same.
Yeah. Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, no, that sounds good.
Cool. All right. So goodbye for now, but I look forward to hearing back from you about Dominion. Okay.
Okay, I'll let you know.
Sounds good. I appreciate you coming up.
Day.
You too. All right. Bye.
Sorry about that. I didn't mean to cut in. I've got a worker that just came in.
Oh, you're fine.
I wasn't able to hear all the conversation.
Oh, you were fine. I thought what you had to add was great.
A good guy or good conversation?
Yeah, I think he was receptive. It sounds like he wrote down the resources, which is what's really important because obviously I'm just a TikTok person. I don't have any license or, professional license to say, do this, but, or I'm right, I know. So I really do appreciate people looking at resources because that's,
right.
Yeah.
Well, it's important. And that's the thing. A lot of people don't like to do their own research or look things up, or change it. I was just going to tell him when I heard him about when he was saying it was kind of inconvenient or not as convenient, that he could always switch out whatever he uses as meat in a base to plant-based meats, and it's the same thing. All he has to do is just get rid of the animal, and put in the plant-based meat. So.
Exactly.
But he's not like a nice guy. Hey, yo.
Yeah. Hey, Odie.
Odie's here.
Hey, how's it going? Yeah, I requested up because I was flipping through and I heard y'all mention the plant sentience argument, and of course that's my field. I'm an arborist, so I can tell you that there is no place on the plant where it has the capacity for memory, and pain only exists where memory capacity works. There is no nervous system. There are chemical reactions that happen, etc., but it would not make sense for there to be an actual memory system for something like a tree, etc., because you can cut a branch off of a tree, sprout roots from it and replant that and grow an entirely new tree. So it would not make sense for there to be anywhere in that tree where it can hold memory, because, I mean, with humans, it's in one place. It's centralized in our brains. So, we can't, memory is not something that can be spread out throughout the entire plant. So, it does not make sense to argue that they have memory or a nervous system or ability to feel pain, because the only part of the tree that's actually alive is the meristem, and there's two types of meristem. There's lateral meristem and apex meristem. Apex being the one at the tip of the plant, where the leaves and stuff grow from, and lateral being where the bark and the wood grow from. And about 90% of most trees, of the tree itself, is dead. It really is. It is only alive where that cellular division is happening at the meristems. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's I feel that honestly it's a last ditch effort. Sometimes people do use it first, but it's like this last ditch effort to make some, excuse to not change. And I get it. But like, I didn't think that guy was actually genuine about it. I think he was just more exploring ideas, and it came to his brain as, another reason possibly not to do something. But a lot of people that it's just disingenuous because they aren't fully thinking it out, because animals eat more plants, and it's like, well, if you care about the plants, then we shouldn't be breeding them to be fed to animals. But yeah, they just don't have the ability. So, oh hey, oh my god, I almost called you Rafaela. It's because I was talking about Rafaela the other day. It's Alexandria in the chat. She's in my YouTube chat. She is the radical vegan. She's an amazing activist. She makes the posters I use when I'm on the street.
Awesome.
She does her own street activism, and she has other signs that she uses that are amazing, and her flow is really good. So very inspiring. She's amazing.
Yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah. If anybody,
I wish you had been on. Oh, I'm sorry. I wish
no.
I'm
sorry.
I was talking about the plants thing, because I know you're very knowledgeable about that, and people just don't realize, and like Anna was saying, the fruits are the ones that entice us in, because they have the seeds, the smell, the look, and people don't really think about it.
Yeah, exactly. They just think of it as like an excuse. Oh, I got it. It's good. It's a good excuse.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what's that tree in the Avatar movie called? Everybody wants to use that as an example of being alive. I forget what the tree's called in Avatar. But
I forgot what it's called too, but I know what you're talking about. The one they connect to with their little
exactly.
head tail.
I mean, that's great. Maybe in another 2 million years that might happen, but I don't know. So.
Yeah.
To be honest, I want to call it Mother Willow.
Oh, that might be what it is, something like that.
Yeah.
Mother Willow is from Pocahontas.
Oh, that's probably why I thought it was the same thing, because it's like so similar.
Well, yeah. Mother Willow, right.
It's also wild to me when people bring up things like crop deaths, etc., because it's like, who do you think is at the forefront of ending crop deaths? Who do you think is trying to find, other, alternatives? It's the vegans.
Right.
Yeah.
We're the ones who are trying to reduce that impact in the field. Like, that's why why we're trying to implement things like veganic farming and veganic permaculture. Because we are trying to stop that from happening.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I always say we can improve crop farming, but we can't take away the exploitation of animal farming. So.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Chip, what's up? It's good to see you.
Hey, Chip.
Hello.
I mean, in the house. Yay, we got another good vegan. Oh, the good vegan because he knows about plants. So we got it all today, right?
Solid panel.
We got it all lined up for you.
Hell yeah. Oh my gosh, Chip, the video you posted
Hell yeah.
this morning or recently, it's morning for me, but
Yeah.
your most recent video. Oh, those guys. Oh, I don't know if I could handle that many being around and like putting their face in the camera and you guys handled them well as a team. You and Lobo.
Yeah.
It was good.
I mean, there's when they come like that, it's always difficult, but you gotta keep your calm and
Yeah.
keep
guys were great.
focus on the animals.
Yeah, you had at least for sure that one guy that you gave cards, or the two guys you actually gave cards to. They did seem, at least the middle guy seemed really engaged. Like he was listening to you. He didn't seem to be saying as many excuses, and so, regardless of all the other noise, that guy still was listening. That's pretty big.
Yeah. There's always one in the
Yeah.
group.
Well, so funny enough, I was watching. I think it's called the Hen House. They're like a YouTube podcast, and they were talking to someone who's gone over the studies about efficient tactics for animal rights, and it's kind of a mix of things. They don't really have enough information to be, like this for sure works, but so far nothing appears to be really working. Street outreach or talking to somebody seems to have some lasting effect. It's something like 1 out of 10 people will convert to being vegan potentially. So one person out of that small group is actually pretty damn good based off of the available science we have. So bravo.
That's not a bad one. So 1 out of 10. That's good.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, it's small. We can make it bigger. If that's where we're at now, that's fine. Again, we could have bigger influence. They just aren't able to measure it yet. But from what we have, it's good to know we have some kind of movement going forward. So that's good. But anyway.
That is really cool, yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's get some guests up here. I've had some people patient. I appreciate you guys waiting. Welcome up. I'm not going to say your name. That's probably not safe for TikTok. Can I call you just It? Or Con? Are you there? I don't know if you're talking. Are you here? Or are you still loading in?
They're showing as still loading for me.
Oh, okay. Weird. It shows them like loaded in on mine. Oh, too bad. I'm sorry, guy. Maybe request back up. Is it Sheeman? Wishiman? Man, TikTok is slow. Wishiman? Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Are you there? Hello? I hear movement.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully it's not a child, or maybe they couldn't log in.
Yeah, it could be also just an accident. I feel like sometimes people accidentally hit the request. They don't even know.
Hello?
Hi, user. Are you over 18?
Yes.
Okay. So why aren't you vegan yet?
Because I believe it's abuse to restrict an animal of something that helps them achieve optimal health.
Did you say it's not right to withhold from an animal?
Yeah, I believe it's not right to. Yeah, so I would find it abuse to restrict a cow from eating grass. I would find it abuse to restrict a lion from eating meat, the same way as I find it abuse.
Why is that abuse?
Well, because you abuse them by not letting them eat what they would want to eat and what they would need to eat to live
Well,
healthy.
need to eat versus
So
want
we're-
to
yeah.
eat are two different things. Sorry,
Yeah,
Lori,
but
you can
for
speak if you
example, a
want.
cow.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, user.
For example, a cow would need grass to be
Right,
optimally
need.
healthy. And what?
So you're kind of flipping between need and want, because a child may want candy, but that doesn't mean I'm abusive by denying them access to candy.
I mean that it's abuse to deny them of living optimally healthy.
It's
Okay,
what?
do you have any proof that consuming animal products makes you optimally healthy?
Mm, I said that I believe that it's optimally healthy.
So you have no proof. Okay. Do you have any proof that you cannot be optimally healthy on a plant-based diet?
Do you have any proof that living
Yeah,
that
I have plenty of proof. Yeah, I have plenty of proof that you can be healthy on a plant-based diet. Do you want me to give you
actual
the
proof
PMID?
or
Yeah,
an opinion
yeah.
of someone?
No. Actual proof. Do you want me to give you the PMID?
Yes, I would love to see
Okay,
that.
it's 3,
Wait a
5,
second.
9,
Wait.
3,
I need to
4,
open my
6, 8,
browser.
7.
Guys,
Wait,
can
I
I
need-
just interject really quick? I've engaged with this guy many times before, and all he does is provide empirical claims without empirical data and uses it as a means to deflect away from ethics. So you guys might just be wasting your time.
Wait, what's the PMID?
Sure. Just write out the PMID 359 34687.
87. Let's see.
Well, also hold on, because like you let him do the burden shift. He's making the claims. He needs to provide that some sort of data that actually like demonstrates his claims, and he never does.
Yeah,
He never
because I
does.
believe that you
Yes,
can't
indeed.
really test
You
for
believe,
something.
you believe, and you make these claims, and
Yeah,
you never
because
provide
I
anything
believe.
to substantiate it.
Yeah, because I believe.
Yeah, we
that you
provided
can,
empirical evidence for the claim
again.
that you can
It
be
doesn't
healthy on a
matter,
plant-based diet.
Sharif.
Can you
Like
provide empirical evidence that you need to
Tamir,
consume animal products in order to be healthy?
Oh, let me
yeah,
finish.
Tamir, you're
Relax,
always like
guys.
providing like these claims and claims and claims, but you never provide anything to substantiate it.
Well,
It doesn't matter what you believe, like you need to have something to substantiate it.
I mean, I believe, again, I said that I don't think you can really test.
You don't think though, but there's an
Yo,
abundance of
let me
evidence that
finish.
says
What the hell is wrong
otherwise.
with you? Let me finish. So, I don't think that you can really test it because you would have to lock someone up and then account for every
So do you think smoking causes cancer?
Yo, can you let me finish?
Do you think smoking causes cancer?
Yes.
Why? Because that's the same type of studies that they do to determine whether smoking and other stuff causes cancer that they do to determine health outcomes and diets. So that's an inconsistency there.
So they use epidemiologic studies, or
It's the
what?
same type of research, pal.
So you can prove that there are carcinogens.
So can you provide any evidence to demonstrate your claim or no?
I can tell you why I believe that eating.
Yeah, I don't
meat
care
is,
what your belief is. I care what the data says.
Yeah, but there isn't a data.
Can I ask a
could
question?
say I believe
Can I
that
ask you a question?
reptilian
Yeah, sure.
shapeshifters are influencing society.
Wait a second.
And that would be an absurd claim, but I could say I believe that to be true and tell you why. Does that mean it's true?
Again, no, but you can take
Exactly.
a look at.
So your beliefs.
Okay,
don't
so in
matter.
order
We
to get
want-
out of the data stuff,
What?
in order to get out of the data stuff, if you were to find out that you can be healthy on a plant-based diet, do you think you should stop oppressing animals then?
If there's proof that eating an plant-based diet is optimal for health, yes, sure, 100%.
Okay, so do you think that then you have a moral obligation to consult in the most objective way possible the data that would prove such a thing or that would disprove such a thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have provided you with one article. What type of evidence do you need to see in order to believe that you can be healthy on a plant-based diet?
It would be a controlled trial where you make an intervention. And
Perfect.
only
That's
the
exactly
diet-
what I provided.
And
That's exactly what I provided. Thank you. So that means from now on you're going to be vegan, right? Because that's exactly what I
the
provided.
study that you provided is wait,
Yeah.
let me read through it.
It's the Epic Oxford study. You can read about the Epic Oxford study. It's exactly that. It's about controlling for all the health markers in identical twins. And one was given plant-based food, then the other was given an omnivorous diet, and they measured all the health outcomes.
Yeah, okay,
long term.
but
So
I would agree that
there you go.
the omnivorous diet, the Western diet, is definitely more unhealthy than a vegan diet. Like someone eating McDonald's is
Dude,
definitely
what are you
going
doing
to-
right now?
So
You Literally
what are
just
you doing?
admitted. You just admitted that a vegan diet is healthy.
You were just proven that you can be healthy. Yeah.
It
Yeah. You were just proven that a vegan diet is healthy is healthy because
sure
they looked
more
at
healthy
markers.
than
It's not about comparing. No. It's not about comparing. It's about having all the markers to be healthy, because that's what being healthy means.
well, but
It's about having all the
yeah.
health markers in place. So if they have all the health markers in place, they're healthy. It doesn't matter what the other individuals did on an omnivorous diet. What matters is that on a plant-based diet, you can be healthy. And we have plenty of evidence for that. This is just one of them. We have several others.
On which markers who decides what markers make someone healthy
Oh
and
my
what markers?
God, dude. What are you doing? Stop.
User, I actually get more healthy if I eat human flesh. Am I now justified to start farming babies and make baby bacon?
So wait.
I'm going to live 10 extra years because baby flesh revitalizes your body. Am I now morally justified to start farming human babies so that I get that longevity?
No,
Why not?
because it would be harming our own species.
What's wrong with that?
Well, what do you mean? What's wrong with that? It's
Tell
our
me
goal
what's wrong
to
with
keep
that.
our
I want to
species.
farm. I want to live another 10 years, so I'm going to farm babies. Tell me why that's wrong.
Well, your 10 years isn't more important than our own species' existence.
Why do I care about our own species?
Wait a minute. So should we? Yeah,
Go ahead.
should we care about our own species?
Yes, 100%.
Oh, so then knowing that animal agriculture is the number one deforestation worldwide, knowing that it creates PTSD in slaughterhouse workers, knowing that it essentially animal products cause cancer a lot of the times. We have several studies also showing that. Knowing all that, why would we continue supporting it, knowing that it most likely creates more damage than good? Since we care about the human species and everything.
First of all, you have weak epidemiologic studies.
It's the same evidence
have you
as
provided a
smoking.
fleck of, have you provided a fleck of
Yeah.
evidence to
None.
Can I send a
demonstrate
teddy
your
bear?
claim?
What?
Fair enough.
So no data provided.
We'll just teddy bear him.
Yeah.
I told you, like that he does that every single time he's on a panel. Just makes claims and like tries to deflect from anything that's like provided to him.
Yeah, I was going to take a step back and ask about his primary claim in the first place, which was the first thing he said was a moral claim that it is, that it is wrong to deny animals things that they would need in order to live a healthy, happy life. And it's kind of like, okay, so why do you get to control them? Because he obviously was pivoting that towards talking about humans, but the argument that he made more strongly applies to non-human animals than it does to human animals.
Well, I think it's also funny because like when you're making that claim and then you're claiming that you need to eat animals when you don't, like you're denying them of their happy, healthy life by taking that from them.
Yeah,
But he's going to go
great
vegan
point.
because he has all the evidence now required to be healthy on a plant-based diet. So we expect him to go vegan.
Yeah, or he'll
Not
just
being
be on
consistent.
another live later doing the same thing.
Probably that. Unfortunately. Let's see. We've got some other volunteers. Ingo, are you over
Hello.
18? Hi.
Yes.
Right on. Why aren't you vegan yet?
Because meat tastes tasty. It's tasty. It's lovely. It's delicious.
Humans, in my opinion, taste like bacon. Does that now morally justify me farming humans?
What do you know how human tastes?
We call them long pig.
Oh.
It's been a tradition for a very long time. You can look it up.
Good to know.
Long pig means human. It's been recorded that we taste similar to pigs. So now that we know that we taste like bacon, am I morally justified to start farming humans because they're so delicious?
Nah, but anyways, my mom made this thing.
Okay. So if it's not moral for me to
So
farm
she makes
humans, okay. I don't really want to hear your grotesque life story.
But his mommy made the tasty.
I know, right? That's exactly where my mommy.
Hello.
Hi, is it Nee or N-E? I don't
It's
know.
Nate.
Nay.
Renee. Yeah.
Renee, got it. Nay.
Yeah.
I like that. So are you
Thank
over?
you.
Yeah, are you over 18?
I am, yes. Well
Okay.
over.
Right on. Why aren't you vegan?
I am actually.
Oh,
I need to I don't know if I should it be on like up here if I am, but I just came across your post and I was listening to that fellow talk whatever he was talking and trying to prove crap. So here's my thing. I had heart failure 2 years ago. My intensivist, so my cardiologist, put me on a plant-based diet, and that is what I am to stay on. And I've been on it for probably close to, I don't know, 2.5 months now.
wow.
I've never felt better. And thank you.
Yeah.
And I just went in for a big checkup the other day, and every single piece of blood work that I had has gone down. I have no fatty liver anymore. I have no prediabetes. I've lost almost 50 pounds, and I don't consume any animal byproducts. I don't consume meat. I eat my grains. I eat my vegetables. I eat stuff that's grown out of the ground. Nothing's processed. And I have proof. I'm proof that it does work and that meat is fucking, pardon my French, horrible for you. My cardiologist told me, if you're going to eat meat, eat fish, stay away from red meat. Don't even eat chicken. My cardiologist is telling me this. I live in Canada, so things are a little different, I guess, here. They're very outspoken. My cardiologist doesn't eat meat. He's vegan. So I just wanted to let somebody know that I know that plant-based diets work because I was on the verge of ending up in the hospital again. And just from eating like that, everything has dropped. It's insane.
That's a
So
wonderful
suck it to
story.
whoever that user was.
To be honest,
Yeah.
the moment that Nate started speaking, I was kind of like, "Oh, this is a vegan." Like before he said anything else. Actually, the moment your picture came up, I already was like, "Oh, this is a
Aw.
vegan."
So, do you mind if I ask you a question?
Of course, yeah.
I think, first of all, I think it's wonderful, that you're on the plant-based diet. So we're discussing veganism, and I'm not sure exactly if you understand the philosophy itself, but can I ask you,
Yeah.
now that you're on a plant-based diet and you can live with that, without doing that with your diet, is that something that you do or would consider practicing in other areas of your life, like products tested on animals or clothing and stuff like that?
Yep. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I have ADHD moment. No, totally. I don't ever use anything that's tested on animals. Everything that I use is natural. It comes from a natural store in town where I live. And it's handmade by Amish people. I don't wear leather. I've never worn leather. I've never worn fur. I'm very cautious. Actually, my grade 8 project, this was back in the 90s, early 90s, was PETA, and I was a member when I was young. My mom signed me up. So I've always been aware, and I got into the habit of eating meat, and then I got out of the habit of eating meat and realized how I don't know. I don't know if you guys are you in the States? Are you in America? Okay. We had an ostrich farm. Maybe you've heard about this, and they decided that because there was some type of I'm getting off subject, but there was some type of virus going through the ostriches years ago that they were going to go. It was in Alberta, I believe. They were going to go and they shot all of the ostriches. They killed them all, which is it was terrible. It was horrendous. I couldn't. It was on TikTok. I couldn't even watch it. There was no need for it. Anyways, I don't know what they did with them after. I'm assuming it was because they wanted them for meat and they did it, and it was just an excuse. It was an eye opener, I think, for me, but also with my new way of eating in life, and always the way that I've thought. Yeah, that's just not, it's not something that comes into my home.
Nate,
So
if I may,
yes, yeah.
just be aware that it's not about how we eat or eating natural or any of this, right? We're not going for an appeal to nature fallacy here. It's being vegan means we respect animals, we don't oppress them, and yeah, we don't see them as objects. I'm sure you do that, as you've said from the story. I just wanted to be clear because I've also heard you say a couple of times that what you eat is natural, it's made local or something. It has nothing to do with that. You can eat an avocado that's made on the moon, and that you would still be vegan. It doesn't mean anything, right?
Right.
At the end of the day, being vegan means respecting animals, just like being a feminist means respecting women's rights.
Which I am as well. So
Yeah, same. I just wanted to be clear for everybody listening to not
yeah, no,
so that
that's
there's no
fine.
confusion. Yeah.
I appreciate you.
I
That's
think that all
fine.
lines up, feminism and everything lines up
All rolls into one.
all rolls in.
Thank you so much for letting me talk and for being on
Yeah.
here. And yeah, thanks for doing this, guys.
Thank you. And if
Thanks
you
for
could,
sharing your story.
yeah, I can't find you in my list. So if you request,
Oh,
I don't know
I'm
if you're,
gonna
yeah, I was gonna say, if you give me a follow, I'll follow you back later. I can't for some reason do it right now. Usually you're in my little drop menu, but you're not there for some reason. So
I just did it.
yay. Okay. So I'll follow you back.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Thanks for coming up. You have a great day.
Good day.
Yeah, you too. Take care.
Yeah. See ya.
Thank you.
Well, we had someone sitting in the request, but they just dropped down. But that's nice to run into other vegans. And I absolutely appreciate you guys following up, because a lot of people might misunderstand what veganism means. And it's really important to be like, okay, I hear that you say you're vegan and I hear that you're avoiding products, but what does it really mean? Because that's, sometimes people just, like, some people say vegetarian is eating chicken, and it's like, what? So some people might have this same misunderstanding.
Yeah. It's just so insane to me. Like, I have days when I'm like just so fed up with, I want to speak about animals, and then people just like instantly speak about cows, chickens, and pigs, and they instantly just talk about food. It's like their brain turns off. Like they can't handle, like, it's just impossible for some people to talk about these animals without talking about food. It's just impossible for some people. I don't understand why. Like, it's like, and they call us brainwashed or something, which is even weirder.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we're the ones who can talk about these animals. You seem to not be able to. You seem to be incapable. So, yeah.
Well, yeah, we're also the extremists, you know, in the cult, which I think is funny.
It is funny. If you ask them about like cosmetics that are tested on animals, more often these non-vegans, they'll say, "Oh, I don't think that's right." But yeah, like you say, all they can think about is food. You're going to take my food away from me. And now suddenly, they're going to fight tooth and nail, and that's all they can think about is the food. Whereas, like, they don't understand that they already agree with the principles, and many times are already living those principles in other aspects of their life. Like, I can't tell you how many people I've come across that buy cosmetics that are not tested on animals, but they still consume animals. And it's like, I appreciate that effort you're putting out there, but why don't you see this with everything? Well, I'm not vegan. It's like, what? You're being inconsistent. If their experiences matter, you should be consistent with how you respect them.
Yeah. A lot of people talk about, we'll talk about being vegan as being very radical, etc. And, the truth is, it is radical, because what the term radical means is it comes from the term for root. And vegans are people who address the issues at the root of the problem. We address the root of the issue with the issues with the animal industry. So it's kind of like, yes, we are radical because we're addressing the actual problem, whereas folks who are focused on like cruelty-free animal products, whatever, are not addressing the root problem. They are looking at the symptoms, and not the actual issue.
That's a good point. Um,
Yeah, that's a good way to put
HydraSpa.
it. That's a good way to put it.
HydraSpa. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
good.
HydraSpa in the chat. You want to join us? You want to have a conversation with us? Because you're making claims that people can't live without the nutrients. Nobody's saying that you can. We're just we have empirical data that you can thrive on a plant-based diet. That means you can get all the nutrients that you require, and that's why we want to talk about animals,
Very
because the science is there. We just want animals to be free, like we would fight for your right to be free, just as we do for them.
Right. And
Because
if he's worried about vitamins, he should be worried that most meat eaters are, insufficient with vitamins more so than plant-based people.
I
The most
invited.
nutrient dense foods are always plants. All the most nutrient dense foods, all the superfoods as we call them, are plant based. So, and I've been vegan for 20 years. And I don't do supplements except for when my partner and I were trying for a baby, which everybody takes supplements then. That's just the norm. And my doctors, occasionally will do vitamin tests for me, and I always come up with enough vitamins, enough nutrients. And, in the case of iron, I oftentimes have very high iron levels, which is one of the primary things people talk about, talk about vegans not having enough of.
Very common excuse to hear, I suffer from anemia, and it's like, you can get quite a bit of iron on a plant-based diet. You just have to do a little bit of planning, but like once you get those habits down, it's really not that hard. It's pretty easy. But if you're not vegan and you're in the chat, but you feel like you have a good argument against veganism, request up. If you're over 18, let's talk. We want to help you over this obstacle that's in your way. Same thing with you, YouTube. Any non-vegans in there? If you're vegan, type 1 in the chat, both TikTok and YouTube. If you're vegan, type 1. If you're curious about veganism, type 2. And if you are not vegan, hit 3. You don't know about veganism, or you don't care, you're just here to hear something. I don't know why you're here, but if you're not vegan, hit 3. 2 if you're curious, 1 if you're vegan. Okay. Awesome. I appreciate seeing some honesty in here. Got a couple of 2s. People voting multiple times. Okay, it's good to see we got a lot of vegans out there, and we've got some non-vegans. All right, well, it's good to see that we have a nice diversity in our audience. Do any of the non-vegans want to come up? We'll have a good conversation. We don't need to fight. We can have like a cordial conversation. If you're in the YouTube, just click the link that I pinned in the chat. You should be able to come up. And if you're in the TikTok already, what are you doing? Let's go. Let's have a little talk.
I'm vegan because I'm against. I don't know if I'm allowed to say the words, but schmavery. I'll say that.
Yeah, I don't know if that word is bad or not. I say it, but I haven't run into a. I haven't had.
I hear it all the time. Yeah.
I don't think TikTok is like banning lives again unless like they're like direct slurs.
Oh, okay.
Like, because I hear people regularly use like those other like words like unalive, but like the other one and stuff like that, and they don't get banned. But like when you hear people like throw the R slur or the N slur and stuff like that, then lives will get banned.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm pretty adamant about shutting that
somebody,
down.
Nothing happens.
Yeah.
When they do that. I don't get that.
I was on a live where someone got a violation notice for talking about the subject that the controversial subject that starts with an A, but beyond that, I haven't seen any restrictions thrown out to.
Interesting. Because that's like the second thing that gets brought up the most. Do you believe in
Damn.
women's health?
Yeah, right.
I just want to apologize to this Josh guy in the comments. Apparently, we debated him before, and I really harmed him or something. So I'm sorry for that harmful experience. If I cussed you out and hurt you or something.
I feel like that takes a lot.
PTSD. See what he did, Ozell? He's got PTSD.
I could get passionate when it comes to people justifying committing rights violations against others when they don't need to. So, I'm sorry if you feel victimized by me speaking against oppression and calling you out for it. But you're really not the victim, Josh.
Yeah. Also, I feel like they would have to be pretty disingenuous characters to get you to cuss at them, because you're pretty good at staying calm and collected. So for someone to agitate you that much, he must have been a real bad actor. The Joshua Candies? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, don't apologize to anybody else, please. I get the feeling that cussing out was probably justified.
I don't normally. I may have said some words, but I don't cuss people out. That's just
yeah, that's what I mean. I don't know that to be your personality type, and if that is what happened, it's well, then you must have deserved it.
Yeah. So if you're not vegan, then you're for oppression.
Yep.
And if you don't say anything about it, if you don't come up here to talk to us about it, then you agree that if you're not vegan, you are for oppression.
Yep. Otherwise, come up here. Let's talk about it. Joshua Candies, if you want to try again, we're not the type to jump out and start cussing at you. So if you want to be an honest actor, you're welcome up. But hi Casey. Appreciate you stepping up. Are you over 18?
Yeah.
No,
okay.
Go to bed with socks. My feet are going to be so cold. And
okay. I don't know what that was. Maybe fix your background. Something going on there. Are you watching a movie? I don't really want to bring you up if you're playing something in the background. Hey, are you? Do you actually want to have a conversation? Was there just something like a TV on?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were. Some people like to play clips of things, so as soon as I started to hear it playing, I just kind of dropped you. It's good to hear you're here to actually talk. You're over 18 though, right? I don't know if we covered that.
18.
Awesome. Why aren't you vegan yet?
Because 99% of the world is not vegan, so.
So you'll only do things. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm a follower.
Where'd you get that number from?
Google, I think, or I've seen it somewhere. I don't know. I think the vegan population is makes 1 to 3%.
So
I mean, 1 to 3%.
Why do you have to have 4 people up here to back you up? Why can't you talk for yourself?
I mean,
wait, I thought you were up here to have a good conversation, dude. What are you doing?
I am. Is that not what this is?
Are you though? That sounds incredibly bad faith.
How?
But Casey, why do you have to? Why does it matter? Casey, why does it matter? Why does it matter that everybody in the world is not vegan? If everybody in the world were to be supporting the exploitation of women, would you also support the exploitation of women?
Nah, it's just cows and beef. It gets.
So that's not the reason. Okay. So why are you not vegan then?
Good nutrients. I'm not eating fake food.
What?
Okay.
Can't even gain weight while being vegan.
Yeah, so how do you gain weight, Casey? Again, I'm a nutritionist, Casey. Please educate me. How can you gain weight? What is it? What's the mechanism through which you gain weight?
What?
What's the mechanism through which you gain weight?
Building muscle mass by working out and gaining nutrients.
And what do you have to do? You have to eat more calories than your expenditure, right? You have to put in more calories in. If you put more calories in than calories out, you're going to gain weight. It's as simple as that.
Protein.
Yeah.
Buddy.
So Casey, how many grams of protein did you have today?
You have to eat 8 vegan burgers to.
So Casey, how many grams of protein did you have today?
I just ate some eggs and some turkey bacon.
So how many grams of protein did you have today?
I don't know. I don't count.
Ah, okay. Because I had 300 grams of protein. I bet you haven't had that in like your whole existence. So Casey, if
Vegan
you
foods
found
are
out that you can
typically
get
processed.
if you found out that you can get enough protein on a plant-based diet, and if I show you empirical evidence that you can build just as much muscle on a plant-based diet, are you gonna stop being a bully towards the animals?
No, because it's gonna cost more, and
What if I show you that
I
it's
don't,
actually easier and healthier
I
and
don't want to eat
cheaper?
processed foods either. I don't like
Oh,
processed
no.
food.
You weren't going to be eating processed foods. So if you are
Very
going to be eating a
processed.
whole food plant-based diet that is quote unquote clean, and you get all the protein that you need, and you get all the health requirements that you need, all the micro and macronutrients that you require, then are you going to stop being a bully towards the animals?
Well, I mean, it's like finding a diamond in a mine shaft. You're not gonna find that. So
Do you
No,
mind?
it's actually not. But like, again, the question is, if you find that, are you going to stop being a bully towards the animals?
I'm not being a bully.
You are forcing them into slaughterhouses for products you don't actually need. That's pretty bully
It's
behavior
gonna
to me.
happen
You are cutting their
anyways.
throats. You are separating the mothers from the children.
I'm
You are
not doing
taking
any of
away
that.
their milk. Oh, you're right. You demand it. You're right.
I'm
You're
not
not the
doing
one
any of
doing it.
that.
You just demand it. You are a coward bully.
It's
You're not
gonna
the one
happen. It's
bullying.
gonna
You're
happen
also
no
the
matter
one who's
what, though.
demanding it. So,
It's gonna
Casey,
happen no matter
if you
what.
find out that you can be healthy on a plant-based diet and you can get all the micro and macronutrients that you require, are you going to stop demanding the exploitation, abuse, and slaughter of innocent sentient beings?
That's a bad argument, but
It's a question. It's not an argument.
I don't even know what you said. You said something about killing animals.
Sure, I understand. It's probably because
That's not.
you have a meat brain. Your brain, you can't easily focus. So I'll do it again to you, okay?
You're
If
just
you find out that
deflecting
you can
now.
thrive on a plant-based diet, that means as healthy as you can be. That means get all your micro and macronutrients that
Stop muting
you
me.
and your body requires. Do you think that you will
No,
stop demanding the exploitation,
no.
abuse, and slaughter of sentient beings?
I can't talk. I keep getting muted by this goofy.
Can you respond to question, please?
No, I keep getting muted. I can't.
It seems like you.
Wow.
When you get these people who are like, "Oh, I'm gonna be smarter," no, bro, you're just sounding stupider.
When people say they avoid processed foods and then they're like, I ate a turkey burger, I ate turkey bacon, as he said, it's kind of like, that's more processed than the beans that I eat. Like my beans, like the only processes they go through is they're dried and then I rehydrate them and cook them. That's it. That's all the processing. Whereas your turkey burger goes through all sorts of processing. So like before you say processed food, you need to understand what the word processed means and what processed foods means, because you're not talking about like what you think you are.
I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, do you know what it means to be processed? Not all processed foods are the same, first off. And you don't even need to eat processed foods as a vegan. It's you can live however you want to live. You want to be healthy? You don't want to be healthy. You want to eat junk food? Whatever. You can do it all without using sentient beings. That's the point. And if you want to be healthy, you can. The potential is there. It's just whether or not you want to do it. Hey, Dot. There we go. Hey, are you over 18?
Hello.
Hi.
Yes, ma'am.
Right on.
Hi.
Why aren't you vegan yet?
So I'm probably one of the outliers that has a lot of like medical and GI issues, where I ended up in the hospital for a lot of GI distress, ended up getting food sensitivity tests done using blood work, and a lot of plant-based or plant foods like I couldn't eat, along with I couldn't do beef and wheat. Heat was one of the main things that caused a huge severe reaction. Me to have a balanced diet, I have to incorporate animal products in it. Like
What do you require? What do you require from animal products?
mostly it would be protein. Um
Mhm.
if I were to strictly just be vegan, it and get protein say from like beans, lentils, soy.
Tofu, tempeh.
I can't do tempeh because it's wheat. Um,
No, tempeh is not wheat. Tempeh is made of soy.
Seitan is made of wheat.
Yeah,
Thank you.
tempeh is fermented soybeans.
Okay, thank you. I get confused. But if I were to strictly just be that, it would put my carbohydrate intake way past my macros, and I
So
did
what would
try it
happen? Why would that be bad?
because it would interfere with my insulin.
Okay.
If I
S
if I eat too many carbohydrates, it causes me to get extremely
Do you know
tired.
that? Have you ever heard of soy chunks? They're essentially just protein. They're like 60% protein. They're very low in carb and very low in fat. If you're going to be eating those, if you're going to be eating tofu is very low in carb. I don't know why you all of a sudden you think that if you're eating tofu, you're getting carb. You're not. You're getting mostly protein. So you could still eat a whole foods plant-based diet that is high in protein without necessarily having a high carbohydrate load, if that's what you're looking for. I managed to do, I'm assuming you track your foods. Do you know what percentage of your foods, what percentage of your calories is protein or carbs, or what percentage you require it to be protein or carbs?
I have my macros done. I don't remember the exact percentages of it, but
Can you tell me
it's
the grams? I'll calculate for you.
I mean it's fairly balanced. The
So
highest
balanced would mean 50%, a balanced diet requires 50% carbs, 30% protein, 20% fat. Is that what you're getting?
I want to say it's roughly around there. The
Okay, well, I have days when I can get 60% protein if I wanted to. So that would obviously be way lower in carb than what you're having now. And it wouldn't even be that difficult. So if you find a way to make your diet work on a plant-based diet, are you going to stop demanding the exploitation, abuse, and slaughter of animals?
For me, sir, I don't necessarily have a choice because of my restrictions to begin
Sounds
with.
like you do. Sounds like you do. Like we just, as I said, if I provide you with resources to help you on your choice, free access to a dietitian. I don't know how often you get access to a free dietitian who would help you with your specific issue. And you still would say, I don't want to try it because I'd rather just do my own thing. Wouldn't you
It's
say
not
that then you're disconsidering the exploitation, abuse, and slaughter that these animals go through by saying, well, it's difficult for me, but it's far more difficult for them because they get put into slaughterhouses for you?
For me, sir, I raise my own chickens and I consider every single one of them my friends. Um,
Up until you kill them, huh? Because you don't kill any other friends other than your chickens.
I don't kill my chickens, sir, but I eat their eggs.
Oh,
Um,
okay. So you don't eat eggs, you don't eat flesh.
I'll do tuna occasionally. I'll get a rotisserie chicken.
Oh,
Um,
so you eat other chickens, but not your own chickens. That's interesting. Why is that?
well, sir, because I don't have to kill them. It's like
But you're still
if
demanding their killing, right? Like, why wouldn't you want to kill them if you're still demanding the killing?
well, I'm also borderline anemic, sir.
Anemic would mean, I'm assuming, low in iron. Chicken is not a source of iron anyway, so I don't see why that would matter. Or do you mean anemic, low in B12? Because it can mean both low in B12 and low in iron. But either way, chicken is not a good source for either of them.
We're
We're not trying to trick
For
you, Dot, by the way. Like, we're just trying to say, like, if you genuinely wanted to live vegan, like, you didn't want to use animals, there are ways you could still try to to either get down to eliminating or at minimum reducing, because if it was medically necessary, we do understand necessity. But sadly, a lot of people use these obstacles as an excuse, and instead of trying to get past them, they just use them as a crutch to keep doing bad habits. So we understand necessity, but have you actually genuinely looked because you feel for the animals, or is it that you just think of veganism as a diet? Because it's not about what you
No,
eat.
I have looked. No, I have looked, and I've had to deal with my condition for
Okay,
it's
let me
probably
put
been
it
about
this
eight
way.
years now.
Can I ask another way, just so that it's, I feel like I put a lot of words, maybe it was misleading. Let's say you didn't have this condition. Would you then find it to be a moral obligation for you to live vegan?
Yes,
Okay.
I did try it a long time ago before I had this condition, and it was very difficult. My body had a really hard time adjusting. Um, and I was extremely tired a lot,
It
Well,
sounds like you
which
weren't getting enough calories, Dot. That's the number one biggest issue that
yeah.
when people adopt a plant-based diet have, because fiber makes you feel full, and as I'm sure you're aware, or I don't know if you're aware, especially if you live in the United States, most of the U.S. population is sadly eating very, very little fiber. So if all of a sudden they start eating a diet that has higher amounts of fiber, they're going to feel full faster, and they're going to feel full for longer. So they're essentially going to be in a position where they think they've eaten enough, because most people don't track their calories, but rather go by how they feel. And they'll feel full and they'll be like, well, I've eaten enough. They'll start losing weight, they'll start feeling bad, and they'll start not having energy because they essentially just didn't have enough calories. But Dot, like the reason why we ask these questions is because we can provide you access to a free dietitian to help you with all this, first of all. And second, if I were in your position, Dot, like if I try to imagine myself in a position where all of a sudden every single plant-based dish out there will make my body sick somehow, let's just imagine hypothetically, I would not go towards exploitation and killing of sentient beings. I would try to find the least sentient beings, or the ones that at least are most likely not sentient, first and foremost, right? Like that's just how I would go about it. So if the plants would never work, but luckily we have so many plants in today's world, and we have so many products that it's nearly impossible that absolutely none of them work. So, and if you go up the scale of sentience somehow, and you like I believe sentience is like an on-off switch, but we have several beings that we don't know whether they're sentient or not. So I would go there first and foremost. I would never go towards the sentient beings that I know for a fact that they have an experience of life. So I'm just trying to understand that, because if you really care about animals, and if you think that it's a moral obligation to not force them into slaughterhouses, to not treat them like objects, then don't you think you have all of these steps before you even put them in this position?
if I didn't have all the restrictions that I have, it would be a lot easier for me to not consume animals. There's
It's, well,
probably
we're
about
offering you, Dot, we're offering you, I just said, access to a dietitian who can help you out with this. All these restrictions that you feel, they'll help you out with that. Why wouldn't you want to take that help?
respectfully, sir, I've had to be my own dietitian for the past 8 years trying
This
to.
is an expert who did 8 years of medical school and expert in nutrition. No matter how much you try to do it, you'll never be at the level that they are. So if you have an expert who has expertise in diseases and as well as nutrition and how to handle those diseases through nutrition, why wouldn't you want help from that, especially given that it's free?
In my experience, a lot of people don't necessarily listen to my medical needs and how I try to advocate for myself. It's I've had blood work done. I've had
Now,
diagnosis.
Dot, you're just searching for excuses, Dot. I'm sorry, but like you really are just looking for excuses. You're using as a disease as an excuse to exploit and slaughter sentient beings. We're offering you solutions, we're offering you help, and we're offering you access to professionals to help you out. And what you're saying right now is that me. But can you for a second take a step outside of your experience and think that whatever your experience is pales into comparison towards somebody putting a knife to your throat or treating you like an object, somebody putting their hands in your anus so that they can hold your cervix and then putting semen in your vagina so that you can get pregnant, because that's what we do to cows so that they can produce milk.
Respectfully, sir, that's also what men do to women.
But you don't like it, you're supporting it. Whatever man does to that to women, I condone it. And not only that, I condone it in a way that I would never in my life support it. Hell, I would fight for everything against it. So why do you support it?
Because, sir, if I didn't eat the diet that I have, I would be malnutritious.
Yeah. So there you go. If we provide you with help to not be malnutritious, you don't even want to take the help. You're just saying, I would be malnutritious. You have already formed your opinion. So you're essentially just doing, what is it called? Motivated reasoning. You have your conclusion. You don't want to stop eating what you're eating. And you will use your conclusion as a justification to commit the hateful acts that you're doing. I don't think it's nice.
Do you understand
Sir,
his point?
I don't think it's...
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yes, ma'am, I do. And the point that I'm just trying to say is, one, I am an outlier. I have a lot of restrictions that would keep me from being vegan.
So
It's
why
not
not
that,
try it? Why not
sir,
try
I have.
the dietitian? You might
Sir,
have a better life, Dot. Dot, your life, you might find like going to a free dietitian might end up where you're having a better life after all. All these
sir,
years of struggling might have meant nothing for you and for the animals. And you're just really hanging on. I don't even know, like, what is it? Is it an ego thing right now? Like, you don't have to admit it to us. I just would like it that you no longer put animals in this position.
Do you mind if I ask a question, Dot?
Yes, sir. Go
Like
ahead.
I want to like provide like a little hypothetical, right? And just kind of like understand the reasoning. So let's say like if you were put in like if you were in a situation to where every day somebody was making a decision and it directly physically hurt you, right? And like you would not like that. I think I could fairly make that assumption. Now, I would ask you, like, if somebody, like, if they thought that that was their only option, but somebody was like trying to give them some information that might help them to prevent them from hurting you, would you want that person to look into those options?
I would say yes.
So that's kind of what we're trying to do here. We understand that it may or may not work for you. We're just trying to give you options that might help you, at the very least, contribute to less harm and exploitation, like in areas where you might not actually have to. That's all we're doing here. You know, we're trying to give you those options because the consumption habits that you're making are doing that to others. And we're trying to present to you potential avenues that you can explore that may help you to not do that to others. And I think that it would logically follow that if you would want somebody else to give you that consideration, that perhaps you should consider giving that consideration to others as well. Does that make sense?
It does. And one of the other factors is cost of living.
So they've actually done studies on this, and they found that like if you eat a whole food plant-based diet, it can be significantly cheaper, specifically in Western countries.
And the dietitian would help you be within your budget, of course. Like they wouldn't like Dot, we're not requesting, we're not asking anybody to sacrifice their life here. We want you to be healthy, but what we're saying, you can't be healthy while at the same time not demand this out of the animals, demand their exploitation. And literally, we're providing you with a resource that would give you access to this dietitian within your budget, within your means, within your area, and within your dietary constraints. And if they cannot do it, then at least you have an excuse, a good one. But you can't say, like I would say, when it comes to violence, that needs to be the last resort. When it comes to exploitation, that needs to be the last resort, not the middle one. Because I understand it's not the first one for you, but it's the middle one. It's not the last one.
I would say it's more the last one, sir. Because I've studied food science.
Question? Uh-oh. Did I cut you off? Suddenly it got really quiet.
Was somebody wanting to ask a question?
Oh yeah, I wanted to ask you a question, but I wasn't sure if something happened because right as I asked, your voice was silent, so I didn't know if there was like a delay or something. I just didn't want to. I wanted you to respond, so I was waiting. Anyway,
I apologize.
No, you're fine. It was probably a TikTok glitch, is what it was. What I wanted to ask though is like, if you could go with me on this hypothetical, imagine somebody who's just able to confines you and wants to use you because they themselves have health issues and they found that specifically your body provides the perfect nutrients for them. They could find another way to do it. It might be a little harder. It might take them, maybe 20 minutes to talk to a professional, maybe a month to figure out these habits. But as the victim, you as the victim, what would you want your oppressor to do? Go through that effort or keep using you out of their convenience?
As a survivor of DV, I would rather not be viewed as a victim.
Yeah, I don't mean to put you in a position that makes you flash back to something. I'm sorry if, that you were mistreated. I'm very sorry. But the only reason why I point that out is because these animals don't get an escape from that. And you right now are the oppressor. So you have the power to act as you would want your oppressor to act, which I would hope be not demanding their exploitation. And again, we understand, everybody understands a point of necessity, but the other issue is not relying on that obstacle as a forever excuse, but just as it is, an obstacle that you should overcome and just always be looking for a way to do better. And I understand that you say you're at that bottom rung, but for those animals, you're still condemning them when we're telling you there are other resources. So if you genuinely wanted to do the best, we just would like you to take the resources and go to the challenge that Chip is talking about and talk to them, because then you can know for sure in your own mind that you're doing the right thing, right? That it's out of necessity and not just because it's comfortable to stay in this kind of a rut. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay. I just want you to act how you would want your oppressor to act. Even if your oppressor was in the same situation of they're having health issues, you would hope that they would take the effort, right, to find some other solution.
I mean, when it comes to an oppressor, they're never going to choose the kindest option.
Well, you're the oppressor right now. Why don't you make that change? Why don't you be the pioneer in that? Do you think that it's right to be an oppressor just because everyone else is an oppressor?
Everything is a spectrum, and...
Well, what does oppression mean? If you know. It's fine if you don't, because definitions. It just means prolonged, cruel treatment. So basically, to treat someone unfairly.
Do you mind if I ask too, like, what do you mean by everything's a spectrum when we're talking about being an oppressor?
Because if I were to humanely raise my animals, and if I take more of a Native American approach to it, where it's understanding that every life has meaning, but every life also serves a purpose.
I just want you to be very careful here, because like what you're about to do is like justify forms of oppression.
Is it necessarily justifying oppression, or is it understanding that?
So if somebody, like, let's say a guy, like, no, I'm not going to use this example because I don't want to be triggering. But like, I just don't think that there is a gradient scale of oppression. Like, unnecessary oppression is just doing that out of desire. It doesn't matter how much you say you respect somebody. Like, if you oppress them and you don't have to, you're still oppressing them. Like, respect doesn't erase that oppression. Doesn't matter what kind of oppression is. I don't think, like, sure, I can agree that some forms of oppression might result in more physical or emotional harm, but it doesn't matter. Oppression is still oppression. Being an oppressor, you're still being an oppressor. And I'm not saying this to like try to like target you specifically. Like, we all grew up unaware that our actions were oppressive. We've been taught these things. We're just trying to help you understand that like you might not be aware of it and you're dealing with some cognitive dissonance right now. But unfortunately, yes, like, you are playing the role of the oppressor in this situation. And we're just trying to make you aware of it in hopes that you'd be willing to consider that and look into these options and make some changes.
I mean, if somebody does want to look at my food restrictions and come up with something that is in my price point, they can do that.
Yeah, we're trying to give you these resources so you can look into that. Like, nobody's saying that, like, if it is not possible physically for you to do that, like, that you would be somehow like a bad person in that case. Like, we're just asking you to exhaust the options because we do understand there's a difference between desire versus necessity. Like, if it is necessary, like absolutely necessary for you to do, there are definitely other areas where you can abstain from the unnecessary exploitation, even if this particular area is necessary. But like, if you don't exhaust the options or like the resources for potential options, then you don't know whether it's necessary or not, and you're just willfully remaining ignorant. And we're just trying to help you with that. Like, hey, just go check these out. This might help you, and you can not, or you can make actions according to after that, in which you can abstain from unnecessary oppression.
And that's
even if in this case it does turn out that there are some things that you cannot avoid.
And that's what me coming on here was, trying to talk about, is that I did try different routes. I did try different diets and different things. And
What will happen if you eat tofu? What will happen if you eat tofu, Dot?
Tofu I can do, but if it exceeds my fat content, then it affects my liver.
It has way less fat than any animal product that you buy.
Tuna has less.
Well, it definitely has less than eggs, which you claim you eat. So you can just not eat eggs and eat tofu.
Well, sir, if you want to go the route of eggs, I don't have to eat the egg yolks every single time. If I stick to just the egg whites, then there's the protein and then there's less fat that it's in there.
Do you see the difference though in those options? The difference being one is from plants and the other being from exploitation. So you have to demand someone be born into existence to serve you, right? In order to get the eggs from them, you need a slave that produces eggs. So you demanded that someone be born into existence that you could use. Whereas tofu, you could just, eat the tofu. The plant didn't have any preferences. That I was just trying to explain the difference in them. I'm not trying to be a gotcha or like guilt trip you. It's just the difference is your mindset. When you look at animals, it's kind of like the way you look at a dog, right? You don't look at a dog and see a future hot dog. You see a dog, you see a companion. You see there's somebody in there. It's the same thing with the chickens, pigs, cows. There's someone in there that cares about what's happening to them. And to use them is to exploit them because they can't consent to their treatment. That's kind of abusive, right? Like, would you want to be born with someone else's purpose on you?
In the world, there is.
Oh, say it one more time.
And I hate
think
to say it like this, but there's. Ugh. It's like that grid that has, chaotic good, neutral good, necessary evil.
it's actually much more simple than that. I mean, obviously.
Again, in my case,
Go ahead. There must be a delay.
I am with y'all. Oh,
Sorry, go ahead.
I think my signal is just bad.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah,
I am
you are
with
losing
y'all
signal.
on the fact that, yeah. I am with y'all on, exhausting all resources until it gets to the point of consuming animals, and that is where I'm at.
Well, again, you have to put yourself in the.
I am frustrated.
You have to put yourself in the victim's perspective. From the oppressor's perspective, of course, you're going to have benefits. But what we're talking about are your benefits, is that fair because of the benefits, what you are demanding of animals when there is another way? And we're just trying to offer you that other way. That's it.
Understood. It's the frustrating part is if y'all were to, look at my diet and I give a full run through as to, why I have the diet that I have, and you come to the same conclusion as me that, okay, well, because of X, Y, and Z, I understand and I see why your diet is the way that it is. Why is it that I would need y'all's justification for my diet to be okay? Why?
Because you're demanding victims be born into existence for you when there's another way, and we're trying to offer you options, but it just sounds like you don't want to take them. Like maybe it's overwhelming. I'm not sure why.
No.
Okay.
Dot, I have a question for you. So there's this tick, it's called the Lone Star tick. If they bite you, you become allergic to animal products. If you happen to be unlucky, Dot, and the tick like that bites you, are you gonna die, or are you gonna find a way to live without animal products?
So the Lone Star tick causes Lyme disease, and that affects your
No.
ability to consume red meat.
It's not Lyme disease. No, it doesn't cause Lyme disease. That's not Lyme disease. No.
Alpha-gal is the disease that we're talking about.
Alpha-gal syndrome. Yeah.
it doesn't inhibit you from consuming animal products. It does inhibit you from consuming red meat.
Um, let me see. Beef or dairy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, we could just make it the hypothetical that if you did get an allergy, would you be
Yeah.
able to figure it out?
I mean, I've been lactose intolerant all my life. On my list of foods I cannot consume, there's probably at least 40 foods.
So let's say eggs now, you start to have an allergy to eggs, which is totally possible. People have allergies to eggs. And, you know, any other animal product that you, like chicken flesh. So now you have an allergy to chicken flesh and their eggs, as well as your lactose intolerance and the alpha gal syndrome. Would you be able to survive, or would that just be the end of you?
Then I would have to find something that is like a hydrolyzed protein.
Well,
Okay.
would
Do you think
your
you can find that now? Like, why is it that you need that situation to be true? And tofu is a source of protein. You could have tofu. Say soy chunks are a source of protein. You could have soy chunks. Why not have those?
One, the fat content
So
that
have
is in
protein
tofu.
powder. Get protein powder. Get vegan protein powder. Get soy vegan protein powder. That's it.
The,
Why not have that?
the cost of because the cost of
Okay. I
getting
think we're just going
protein
to end it
powder.
here. You've been up here quite a while,
Yeah.
32 minutes. What I'm going to leave you with, I don't normally like to suggest this solution, but I think that they're what you need. So Challenge 22 offers that free dietitian
Yeah.
that Chip was talking about. They also offer groups that you can be in with people who have similar obstacles as you, and they can tell you how they overcame them. But it's up to you if you want to be vegan or not, because veganism is about not seeing a someone as a something, not seeing a someone as a resource to be used, but as an individual who deserves respect. So what I would
And
like, oh, go ahead.
I just wanted to say that like we're being like at least I'm a little bit more strict and more direct because you know, these are victims. They are victims. They feel, they have emotions just like you. And if you were a victim of DV, as you said, and I'm so sorry that you had to go through that. I'm sure it wasn't easy, and nobody should have to go through that. That's insane. I'm sorry you had to go through that, and I hope that you know that it's not your fault for going through that or anything like that. But if you have gone through this experience where somebody has essentially used you because they had power over you, then you should understand better than anybody what it's like to be a victim of such a circumstance. And all the animals, they are victims of the circumstance. So if I were in your shoes, I would take any single situation, any single solution that anybody would give me, so that I don't put anybody in a situation where I would feel that way.
Right.
And that's all we're saying.
Yeah.
That's all we're saying. Yeah, sorry.
No, you're great. Yeah, I was
No, and
unmuted, so sorry.
no, and I understand all that, and again, I agree with y'all. It's
What I
if
want
I didn't have
what
a
I
lot of
want
the
to do is,
restrictions.
I don't want you to talk yourself out of it. It sounds like you've absorbed what we said, because I do hear you repeating that you agree with us, but there's these obstacles, right? And even though Chip is a nutritionist, it would probably be in your best interest to just go to the Challenge 22 and sign up. Even if you decided you didn't want to do it, it's just an email. They just send you an email with a meal plan based off products in your area based on your budget. But if you decide, no, I don't want to do it, you just ignore your emails, right? So it's not intrusive. You just sign up, and then you can access their dietitian pool, which is like, I think, in a Facebook group. And you can talk to somebody about your specific issues, and because they want you to transition. They're there specifically to help you find a way to live vegan. But they're dietitians, so they're the ones that actually have the authority to say, hey, this is going to be dangerous for you, or, you know, there's actually a lot of options for you. And I think what you need is someone who is professional, who's had 6,000 to 8,000 hours focused on how diet affects health to help you figure out how to do this. But you have to want to. So what I would also encourage you to do is watch Dominion. Watch this first, and then when you want to do something, look up Challenge 22. Because I feel like you'll have that motivation there. It won't be oh, I've done everything. It'll be more like oh my God, is there anything else I can do? Because I don't want to be in this state, right? Would you be willing?
That's fair.
Yeah, would you be willing to watch that documentary? Just to know standard practices. It's important to be an informed consumer because you're demanding someone go through a vicious system. And it's important you know what that system looks like and what they're experiencing while they go through it, because if you're going like this, of course, any decision is easy to make if you don't know what's going on. But if you were the victim, you would hope that the person demanding becomes aware of your existence, right? And doesn't demand your continued exploitation. We're just asking you to do the same. But first, just start out with watching Dominion and ask yourself, do I want to give those people my money? And then the next step would be, how do I handle my obstacles, right? And that's where Challenge 22 comes in. Would you be willing to watch the documentary?
Sure.
I appreciate you, Dot. That's really the first steps that we're asking people to do. So I appreciate you doing that. Thank you. If you watch it, would you be willing to come back and talk to us, or even just private message and tell me if it changed anything? Were you there? Uh-oh, I can't hear you, Dot. Maybe we lost you. Oh no, I think we lost you. Well, I'll just say it again if you can hear me. Watch Dominion, and if you're willing to, please reach out to me or anybody on this panel. We're all open ears, and we really want to help you live in alignment with your own principles, because we can hear that you're a kind person. You do want to live in this alignment, but your obstacle is just holding you back. And I understand your health is a big deal. So definitely we want you to take care of yourself, but become informed. And then if you want to do more, that next step, Challenge 22. I'm going to go ahead and drop you because it just looks like you're not coming back. I'm sorry, Dot. Thank you for coming up, though. Oh, I hear you now.
Yes, ma'am. Before y'all lost me, I was going to say thank you for sharing space with me. And
I appreciate you coming up here with this obstacle, because, there are other people like that need help, and you're helping them.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. I appreciate you, Dot. You have a great rest of your day, okay?
You too, ma'am.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right. Bye. Well done, guys. I think you actually covered a lot of ground on that. So any wallflowers that are watching probably learned a lot there. Even though it was a bit of a longer conversation, but I think you guys did really well there. Are you?
I feel bad that she went through that. Honestly, like it's nobody should have to go through that. That fucking sucks.
Yeah, for sure. No one should be ever used or harmed like that for someone else. I don't know the right words to say. It's just an atrocity that shouldn't happen, and it's also why we're vegan, because we see these kinds of activities happening to victims that aren't listened to at all, and that angers us. It makes us uncomfortable, because if we were the victims, we would want justice. We would want someone to hear what happened to us and help us through it so we can heal, and even like I said, get justice for our harms. But animals don't get that. They just have to just keep moving forward, or just accept the unaliving. It's hard to be kind to humans who've experienced grief but still don't want to acknowledge that animals are in that same basket. And it's like, I don't want to harm you more than you've already been harmed, but you're experiencing injustice doesn't give you the right to cause further injustice to others. But it's so hard to say that without sounding like an attack. But that's our job. That's our job to figure that out. All right. Tamokari. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I'm sorry.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, are you over 18?
Yes, I am. I'm 24.
Right on. Did I pronounce your name correct?
Yeah, you did.
Tom Macari. Is it all right if I just say Tom? I might butcher it as we go if I'm saying a long name. Is that okay? Or do you prefer the
Yeah,
whole
sure,
name?
that's fine.
Okay, Tom, thank you. So why aren't you vegan yet?
I guess I just don't hold the same like moral consideration for beings that really aren't humans. So I guess I don't really, in the same sense, I don't really worry about the bacteria I'm killing when I take a shower, because it just, I don't hold the same moral hierarchy
Yeah, I definitely don't
for
hold.
those other beings.
I don't hold any moral value to bacteria either. What do you think about individuals who have the capacity to suffer and who have the preference to have further experiences? Do you think we should respect that? We lost you. If you're teacupping, we can't hear you.
Is it good now?
Yeah. So what about
I mean,
individuals who
I
have
get-
that? Okay, you heard me. Sorry. Go ahead.
So if we did stop all of the like animal killing, I guess I would move to the farmers and the people who would lose their like livelihood. That's more important to me than, let's say, a chicken suffering.
So my question was, if an individual has the capacity to suffer and have a preference to continue having more experiences to make preferences on, is it morally acceptable to exploit them?
I mean, I feel like that's a loaded question.
How is it loaded?
Just because you're assuming they hold the same like sentience we do. Sure,
Can you
they can
explain what
experience suffering.
sentience is to us?
Yeah.
Sentience?
Yeah.
Like in the way humans experience it, or just an
No,
awareness?
What is sentience?
I mean, I don't know the actual definition, but I would say an
Okay, so
awareness.
I'll help you out here. Like, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I just want to
No,
make
you're
sure we're on
good.
this. Okay, so sentience is just a capacity for a subjective phenomenal experience, meaning that like one has the capacity to experience consciousness from an individual perspective, right? So what you're talking about is like cognition and information processing, right? So we can't determine what one's experience really is outside of ourselves. We can only measure that by observing their information processing capacity, right? And like the higher that goes, like the more level of sapience they would have. So like we have a higher level of reasoning, which would be sapience, but that's not sentience. Sentience is just the ability to have that experience.
Okay, so self-awareness or something along those lines, or am I off?
Yes, and that self-awareness will like vary like from individual to individual.
So can I pose a hypothetical? Let's say we could continue killing all of the animals, but they were all asleep. So none of them experienced the suffering. Would it still be then okay?
You're still
Still have an
denying them of their
experience.
sentience. Like you're robbing them of their sentient experience. So even if they're asleep and they might not consciously be aware that oppression is about to happen, you're still robbing them of what comes after that sleep, right?
I mean, correct, but I feel like that's more of a moral argument.
So do you think like murder would be okay if somebody's asleep?
I mean, you're assuming I hold humans and animals on the same level.
Well, are humans animals?
Yes, but I mean,
Okay, so like
I
you
hold
can
more
value
moral
like
value for a human than
okay,
an
so
animal.
if somebody doesn't value humans like to the same degree that they value themselves, would it then be okay for them to take somebody's life while they're asleep?
I would say no, but that's because I hold humans at a different moral value than I do, let's say, a chicken
Okay, so
or a cow.
you can hold anybody at a different value, but how does that logically justify that it's okay to oppress them?
I mean, this isn't using logic at all. This is just using moral and ethics. Nothing about this argument is logical.
Actually,
Feelings.
logic is very important in ethical discussions
No, I'm not saying logic isn't important. I'm saying your whole argument holds on logically you're killing the bacteria. You're
Okay,
killing a
so we're
sentient
using
being.
sentience as the symmetry breaker, right? Bacteria are not sentient.
How do you know?
According to the current
Sorry, that was a bit of
hold on. According to the current biological data available, bacteria has not been determined to be sentient, but I could grant you that there is the possibility that it is. In many instances, it is unavoidable to harm bacteria, right? But if it were determined that every single life on the planet were sentient, then any vegan would adjust their lifestyle accordingly to avoid contributing to the unnecessary harm that's being caused.
You would just
But
have
right
a
now,
different
hold
moral
on.
consideration.
Hold on. But right now, you're just making an assumption. We know that animals in the animal kingdom are sentient, right? So the very fact that they are sentient, how do you logically justify robbing them of their sentience? Like, what is a logical justification to unnecessarily oppress another?
I mean, there really isn't one. It's really just comes to where do you hold the moral hierarchy?
Can I
Like
ask you a
humans would be
question
at
before? Yeah, so because you keep talking about this, do you think we should derive our morals? And then Ozil, you can continue. I just want to ask this question because I think there's an inherent misunderstanding here of how morality should be, at least on my behalf. Do you think we should derive morals based on the extrinsic value that we place on individuals? Like, take for instance, if I don't value you, then would it be moral if I take your life?
No.
No.
No,
Okay. Why
okay.
would that
You're
be
saying
though?
if you
So
don't
it
value
doesn't.
me?
Yeah. If
Hold
I
on,
don't,
hold on. You're saying if you
if
don't
that,
value me, if you kill me, is that
yeah.
morally acceptable?
So if I don't place any moral value on you, absolutely nothing. In fact, let's just make it even easier. I dislike you. If I dislike you, is it okay? Like, if your value, moral value to me is with a minus, would it be okay for me to take your life? Would it be moral?
I mean, would it be morally acceptable? It really depends on who you ask.
I'm asking according
If you
to your
simply
moral
just don't like
values.
me, I would say no. But
According to
let's
your
say
moral values. According to your moral values, would it be okay?
I could care less.
You could care less if I take your okay. I've seen this before, so let's go in a different route
I
because
mean, in
obviously the
terms of
disingenuity won't work in this way.
let's just
So
say
if I
someone
choose to
dies
take,
across the
so
world.
if I choose to take the life of your mother, okay, because she has zero value for me. Everybody else has just more value to me than her. Would it be moral for me to do so?
In your morals, sure, it'd be
No, no,
okay.
no,
In mine,
no,
no.
no. In yours, because no, my morals do not come from the extrinsic value that one places on an individual. Because when you would ask me, you would say it's immoral, but then you would ask me, why do I find it moral? And I would give the same answer as you do, because I don't place value on her. You see, so it's actually your values that I'm using to justify the murder that I would be committing. It would be your
Morals are
values.
subjective, though. So, like to me, if you
Yeah, but
kill
that's
my mother,
exactly it. Tomo,
right?
morals are subjective, but they're independent of subject applied. Do you know what the veil of ignorance is, Tomo? Do you know what the veil of ignorance is? This is a very important part of morality.
No, I don't.
So the veil of ignorance is a way how you construct moral rules, and it's something that has been proposed. I forgot by who was proposed, but it's a very important part of when you derive moral rules. The veil of ignorance essentially says that if you're going to make rules about an individual on how to treat an individual and whether it is moral to treat this individual in a way or another, there should be a veil between you and them. So you don't know the color of the skin of this individual, the species of this individual. You don't know anything else other than they're an individual. So do you think you should derive your moral values based on this veil of ignorance, or do you think you should have moral values based on, well, if I don't value them, then it's okay for me to do whatever I want to them?
I mean, I guess my moral standings for, like, let's say any being would be, do they have the capacity to reason? I don't believe cows, chickens, or any of the livestock
Oh,
or animals that we would consume have the
so a
capacity
human
for
being,
reasoning as the
so a
same
human being
level
who,
as humans.
so a human being who has the same capacity to reason as a cow would be okay to exploit and slaughter them, right? Okay, thank you.
That's not
Yeah,
what I said.
like
You just took my argument and ran with it.
so there's a bit of a like a false inferiority inference happening here. You're implying that because like a cow that is fully developed or a pig that is fully developed in their brain um, don't have the same type of like cognitive processes that a human does, that somehow makes them inferior. Can you justify that?
I never said inferior. That
Well,
wasn't
that's
my
what you're
argument.
implying. Like if you're
You-
implying that it's okay to exploit another based off of an ability, like you're making the assumption that they're inferior.
I mean, in that sense, you would kind of that's actually a good question. Um, I guess I would just hold. I mean, the simplest form would I hold humans at a higher regard than other beings. That's really
Well,
what it comes
you can
down to.
hold humans at a higher regard than other beings and still not exploit other beings if you don't have to, right?
I mean, that's true, but I don't think most people care. Like, if you ask why aren't most people vegan yet, they just don't care. And like, you
I mean,
can,
sure, I can accept that is true. Like, but like I think a lot of people are just like not educated enough to understand. Like there are like racist people that just don't care about the other race because of their ignorance. Do you think that that is a valid excuse for oppression?
no, but I wouldn't say they're morally wrong either.
Okay, like so I can reject ordinary moral claims also, but would it still be justified?
To me, no.
Okay, it wouldn't be justified. So that causes a performative contradiction within your own framework that you have. So I guess, like, how would you justify that?
Having what, someone being racist? Sorry,
No,
you
no,
cut in and out
just the
there for a second.
contradiction. You're saying that it would not be justifiable for somebody to act out of ignorance or like or their value system or whatever, but you're implying that it is also okay to do in other circumstances without any like clearly like definitive like symmetry breaker here.
I mean, I guess this would just be like a moral double standard that I like stand on. I guess I would have to think about it a little bit more.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I appreciate that. Like, you would have to think about it more, but I just want you to understand, like, the justifications that you're using right now, like, justify every form of oppression that we can think of. And if you think that, like, using preference itself is a justification to do so, then you need to be willing to accept that all other forms of oppression are ethically neutral.
I mean, it just doesn't hold the same weight. Like when you try to give a cow the same moral weight as a human, for most people it just doesn't work, and for myself as well.
Yeah, but like it does work. You're just choosing to not do it. Like that's a difference. It does work. It's no different than applying moral consideration to an infant, a toddler, or a severely disabled person who cannot cognitively function like a normal human adult, right? They are moral patients. They can be acted upon morally, even though they cannot provide like moral action in return.
And if I can say something like, I think this is a false equivalence that you're creating over there, because we're not telling you to hold them at the same thing. We're telling you you're saying that they don't have enough moral value for 10 minutes of taste pleasure that you're getting out of, like it's their whole existence of a sentient being who feels, who has emotions, versus 10 minutes of taste pleasure. That's it.
I mean, I guess I could go back to your veil of ignorance. Wouldn't that require both beings like being reasonable for the same morals, like understanding?
Did you not just like listen to what I described about moral agency versus moral patience? Right? You and I, we can act morally. There are individuals, even humans, that cannot. And what you're talking about now is essentially saying it is okay to oppress others just because they lack the same agency that we do. And that would include like individuals I mentioned, such as like infants or like young children or like other animals, severely disabled people.
Those would still be human
Like
beings.
that's what this justification like does.
Even if an infant has the same like reasoning as a cow, I hold those two beings at different moral standings.
What do you mean by that, though?
I hold higher value for the infant, even if it has equal or even less understanding than the cow, simply
So
because
what do you
it's a
mean by
human.
value?
Value. Well, I feel like it should be implied, but like I hold different feelings about that being.
So do you think do you think somebody else's extrinsic value they place on you eliminates the intrinsic value that you have?
I don't have any intrinsic value. I don't believe any humans do. It's all placed externally.
Oh, that's interesting. That's fine. I mean, I can accept that in your argument if you don't actually believe that.
Why?
So do you think
let me ask this.
better? Yeah. Do you think that placing arbitrary axiological metrics on others and using that, like you think that is an excuse to exploit another?
I'm
Because that's
sorry, I
what you're
didn't really
implying. You're saying
understand what
nobody
you
has
said.
intrinsic.
Axiological understanding?
Yeah. Do you know what axiological metrics are?
No.
Yeah, it's just using like placing value and using that as a form to measure whether somebody should be oppressed or not in this instance. So what you're implying is because nobody has intrinsic value, it's all extrinsic, that it is acceptable to oppress others based on the extrinsic value that we place on others. You understand that justifies like Nazi Germany and stuff like that?
I don't see how that kind of compares, but we hold different consideration for different things all the time.
Can you explain to me how you don't see how that doesn't compare? He was placing extrinsic value on a certain demographic and used that to exploit them. That's what we're doing to other animals. So can you explain?
Are you equating Nazi Germany to like livestock?
I'm equating exploitation and oppression to exploitation and oppression. I don't understand how that's hard
Yeah,
to
but
understand.
the difference there is it's humans versus
Are humans
animals.
animals?
Yeah, but it's a different
so
moral
humans
weight.
are animals. Are livestock animals?
Okay, you're trying to do this
Are they?
thing,
It's a
and
yes
I'm
or
not
no
going to let you
question.
do it. Like, I
No,
see what you're doing.
I'm checking your logic here. You're questioning mine, so I'm explaining how it's consistent. And now you attacked the consistency of my logic, and you're not giving me a chance to like demonstrate how it is consistent. That's a you problem. That's just being incredulous. So I'm going to ask you: Are livestock animals?
Yes,
Are both humans and livestock sentient?
I would say different levels, but yes.
Okay, so both you like again, sentience is binary. I can agree with you that the information processing and the cognitive ability is
Then-
different. I can agree with you on that. But
In
they
my
both have the
argument,
capacity
sentience
to
wouldn't matter then.
But they both have the capacity to experience oppression.
Yeah, but it's different levels of oppression.
Can you explain what you mean by different levels? So let's say like what would be the difference between like harming another individual because you disvalue them versus harming another individual because you disvalue them?
Are they both human?
Why does that matter? They both can experience oppression.
Well, it's the level. It's a
What do you-
moral
like, that-
hierarchy at the end of the day.
Can you tell me the last time you experienced life as a cow?
I've never experienced life as a cow.
And how do you know what a cow's experience of oppression is?
I mean, you would assume I care about the cow's experience.
So that like you're making an assumption, and then you're saying that I would assume that you care. So you don't care that a cow's level of oppression, a cow's experience might be valid enough to where they like coherently experience it like to a significant degree. You're saying you don't care about that?
I mean, if it was proven, sure, but it's not.
So you won't extend epistemic humility.
I can't
So the very
have a
fact
conversation with a
so the
cow
very
about moral
fact
ethics.
that like we cannot prove that an infant can experience oppression the same way you or I can, it is now permissible to oppress them according to
No,
your
but
logic.
right, but an infant has the capacity for that moral reasoning if time goes on.
What about
A
a
cow will
terminal
never
infant?
have that capacity.
What about a terminally ill infant that doesn't have that capacity? They will die at 2 years old, maybe.
It's just the moral weight of the human.
Oh no, there's no moral weight if those other conditions you've ascribed aren't there.
Why isn't there? Wouldn't that be up to the individual?
You're going to have to explain the moral weight difference here because you've just provided these sufficient conditions, and I just provided a scenario where those sufficient conditions don't apply.
I would say simply because the being is a human. What it
So you're
sounds
just
like your
special
argument
pleading
is
then.
I should
So
hold.
so even within your own moral framework, like it's inconsistent.
Well, that's okay. It can be inconsistent. It's an emotional response you're trying to elicit out of people. It's
I'm
going
not
to
trying
be
to elicit
inconsistent.
emotional response. I'm using like a deductive logic here to like demonstrate the inconsistency of your position and help you understand that it's inconsistent and maybe consider that other beings can experience oppression that you are paying for or contributing to.
I think most people understand it's inconsistent. I don't think that's the big reasoning for
So you
most
think
people.
inconsistency, like you think it's okay for people to be inconsistent and then act immorally because of that?
Of course not.
Then why don't you address the inconsistency?
Because
That's
it's
another
simply the being
inconsistency.
is a human. That's the whole
That's
argument.
two contradictions you've presented within the last like couple of minutes.
Okay. Do you hold insects on the same weight as humans?
Yep.
But a ton of insects are killed
Yep.
with crop. I mean, but you still continue to eat plant unless
Yeah. So I'm
your
going to ask you this.
lifestyle.
Yeah, I can answer this. Is eating necessary for survival?
Well, of course.
Do you understand the second law of thermodynamics?
I believe so, but you can explain it to me.
Okay, cool. So it's pretty much like the state of energy transfer and the change of energy from order to disorder, like entropy, right? So that's applicable in the trophic system. So when we consume plants, right? Plants are like primary producers. Like
I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you. Trophic system?
yeah, the trophic scale, like the food chain, like
Okay.
like it goes like from like producers up to like predation and consumers, right? Plants would be at a number 1, like apex predators like lions would be at a number 5. We would be at like a 2.2, but like that's kind of like we like that part's irrelevant, but like what it comes down to is like if we consume plants, we get 100% of that plant's energy. 10% of that goes to our muscle tissues, and 90% of that is released as heat via other bodily processes, right? And that's the same for other animals that eat plants. So if we eat plants, we get all that energy. But if we eat animals, we are getting significantly less energy than we would get versus eating the plants themselves when it comes to like overall consumption, meaning that more plants and animals have to be harmed in order to produce the same caloric value out of consuming a cow versus consuming the plants in that weight.
So it's the
So more
amount and not the
insects,
harm being done?
yep, so more insects are going to be harmed. More animals are going to be harmed for consumption to consume livestock than just consuming the plants themselves.
So your issue is with the amount, not the harm itself.
My issue is the intention and like the necessity of that, right? So we have to consume, right? Animals that are harmed within that consumption, right? That's an unfortunate, unavoidable part of life. But our exploitation, we don't need to intentionally exploit others. We don't need to directly cause rights violations to others. And it just so happens that in doing so, we are causing less indirect harm overall within abstaining from exploitation.
I mean,
Exploitation speeds up entropy.
I'd say for this entire argument, it's not about like if there's a moral line, it's about where you draw it. So like, for example, bacteria. I can go back to this. You don't draw the line at bacteria, but for some reason you draw it at a cow.
So I think you're just largely deflecting at this point, right? Like we're discussing, like I'm trying to figure out how you logically justify unnecessarily exploiting another sentient being.
There's no logic in this reasoning. Like I can accept that. There's no logic when it comes to like logically I should be a vegan. Like I can accept that.
Okay.
But there's nothing about this argument that's logic. It's all
What do you mean?
emotionally based.
How do you justify that? I'm not being emotional. I'm using logic right now and reasoning.
Because anytime I'm going to like put a value on something, it's going to be an emotional response.
Yeah, but that's something you're doing. I'm not placing value on anything. That's the point.
No, but you do. Right?
No,
you say
I don't.
there's going to be less harm, less killing if it's plant-based.
Yeah, but I don't value you by any means, but I don't think that you should be exploited.
Why?
Because you have your own sentient experience, and I value my sentience, right?
I mean, bacteria have their own experience, but I don't value them.
Okay, so you're saying that just because, again, we're just going in circles
Can I
at
ask a
this
question?
point.
Because
Yeah, go ahead. I'm done. I'm going to go eat. Thank you.
yeah. So I
Enjoy
want to
your
ask
meal.
a question. Yeah. So Tomo, if you found out that the Jewish people were not actually genetically human beings, they're not Homo sapiens, would you then say that the cool or cost, the bad thing that happened a while ago was then okay, was moral?
I feel like that's a very shaky question for me to answer. Hold on, let me.
Well, they're not human beings, so according to your values, then that would be okay, correct?
Well, I mean, if they're similar to humans, I would probably hold the same moral weight.
Oh, okay. So it's
in
not
terms
about
of
them being
conscious
humans.
experience.
Gotcha. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so it's not about them being humans. It's about okay.
Sure,
Doubt
I
that their
could say it's
experience
the
is
level of
more
conscious experience.
mentally different.
I could go that
That
far.
their experience that yeah. What if you found out that they actually hear smells and they smell sounds? It's just so different from anything else that whatever humans feel.
I
Would
mean,
it be then okay to oppress them?
is it the same level of conscious experience? Like we're capable of moral
No, they
reasoning.
actually have. Well, so wait a minute, because I actually wrote it down. Okay, so you said moral reasoning, right? So they're not humans. So them being humans no longer matters. Thank you.
Well, they
Okay,
are
so now it's
humans.
just them. Oh no, I said if they're not humans, is it okay to oppress them?
Hold on, wait. Can I just ask a question really quick?
No, I would like to answer my questions because we've been going in circles for a while. I have to
Okay.
work and I really wanted to get this down. So if Jewish people were not human, right, hypothetically speaking, would you be okay with oppressing them?
If they weren't human beings,
Yeah, they were not Homo sapiens. They would
do
be.
they have the same moral reasoning as like a cow?
Some of them do, some of them don't.
They're not okay. That they're basically just a different version of humans at that point.
No. They
it
would be
sounds
a
like.
different species. They would be a different species.
I mean, I would hold them like I wouldn't kill and eat a dog. I know that might be like a logical fallacy or something, but I mean,
what is the morally significant difference between a dog and a cow that justifies the difference in treatment?
The personal value I put on them.
No. What is the morally significant different trait? We're looking for a phenotypical trait.
I guess there wouldn't be one. There might be, but I don't know of one off the top of my head.
Okay,
It's
so
just
then
the
it feels
personal
like
value.
you're just making decisions based on emotions. You call us making decisions on
Wait,
emotions, but all our
hold on,
decisions
wait.
are logical. It's pretty simple. All our decisions are logical. They're about
Nobody
sentient beings.
runs off
We
of pure
respect
logic.
sentient beings. You yourself are making decisions based on emotions. Do you
Yes.
think it's okay to make decisions whether to exploit and slaughter somebody for an optional product based on emotions?
Yeah, 100%. If someone
Okay, so if you annoy me, then it would be okay for me to
in.
exploit and slaughter you, correct? Because that would be my emotion towards you. So if I hold a negative emotion towards you, then it would be okay for me to exploit and slaughter you, according to you, correct?
If someone killed my mother, it would be okay to exploit and slaughter them. That would be an emotional response. There's literally nothing logical about that.
So if somebody accidentally hits your mom with a car, it's okay to kill them, correct?
It's the intention behind it as well.
Okay. I gotcha. So no, because we're just moving the goalpost from one point to another. So we've established already that they don't have to be humans. We've established already that it's all an emotional thing, and it's all based on how your emotions towards them are. Okay, so I'll ask you yet again, if my emotions towards you are negative, would it be okay for me to exploit and slaughter you? Or wait, you've already said that. If my emotions towards your mother are negative, is it okay for me to exploit and slaughter her?
Morally?
Yeah.
To me, no. To you, sure. Yes.
Wait a minute. No.
Each
Wait
person
a minute.
has their
But
own moral standing.
you right now, Tomogachi. Imagine this. Imagine I am your child right now, and me as your child,
Hi,
I
son.
want to unalive your mother, my grandma. Okay, I want to do that. Tell me why that would not be good, because I personally have a bad feeling towards her. Why shouldn't I unalive her?
You're my son in this scenario. You're a kid, and you
Yeah.
want to murder my mother, your grandmother.
Yeah, why would that be bad?
It's simply emotional. I feel as though it would be bad. That's really it.
Okay, but I don't. So then it's okay.
I'm sorry? What do you mean?
I don't. As I said, I hate her. So it would be okay for me to unalive her.
You would feel as though it's okay if you hate her. I would feel as though it's not okay. Logically,
Why should I care about you? I'm the one doing it to her. You're not involved in this. You're just trying to teach me whether it's right or wrong. And what you just taught me, you said, if I feel negative towards her, then it's okay for me to slaughter her. So you're right. It's
I
okay
would
for me
say
to do
most
it.
of the teachings would be emotionally based.
Yeah, but exactly. You're saying that if my emotions towards her are negative, then it's okay for me to unalive her, correct?
Morally, I mean, logically, sure. Morally, probably not.
So why wouldn't it be moral then? My emotions towards her are negative.
That's a personal thing. You would feel that.
Yeah, I feel negative towards her.
Logically, I mean, you could go down the route of she provides you food, shelter, whatever the case may be. Morally,
I feel negative towards her.
if you feel negative towards her,
Yeah, I'm
then you
doing
would have a
exactly as you
different
told me.
moral understanding
Okay,
in that sense.
no. Let's start from the beginning because you don't seem to understand the thought experiment. So let's start from the beginning. So Tomo, I want to unalive your mother. Is
Okay.
that right or is that wrong?
It depends on who you ask and the
I'm
intent
asking you.
behind it.
I'm asking you. I want to unalive her. Is that right
No,
or
I
is
don't.
that
I
wrong?
don't think it would be okay. I would feel very bad.
Okay, why would it be wrong? Is it no? Sorry, I'm asking you if it's right or if it's wrong, not how you feel about it.
You have to ask me how I feel about it. There is no right or wrong.
No. Is it right or is it wrong?
Okay.
Is it? I'm a child. You're teaching me right now. Is it moral or is it immoral for me to unalive your mother?
Okay. Morals are made up. I'm just going to lay that out. So it would be
Is
based
it
on the
moral?
individual.
Is it right or is it wrong for me to unalive your mother?
Based on my moral understandings and what I hold
I'm trying to
morally
understand.
valuable,
Should I
would
unalive
say
your
no,
mother?
it's not morally acceptable.
Why?
Because that's the way I feel. Morals are just feelings at the end of
But
the
I'm
day.
not. No, it has nothing to do with you. It's about me and her. I'm trying to unalive her. It has nothing to do with you.
You're asking me to teach you why it's morally wrong.
Yeah. So let's imagine that you will die tomorrow, and you're trying to teach me why it's wrong for me to unalive your mother. I won't do it while you're alive. I'll do it after you die. Is that okay?
I'm sorry, you broke in and out there. You
So
asked me if I die tomorrow.
Yeah, if you die tomorrow, would it be okay for me to unalive your mother the day afterwards?
No,
Because you no
I don't
longer
think that's
have
morally
any.
acceptable.
Why? Because I don't have any emotions towards her.
Then it would be morally okay for you.
Yeah, so it's moral. Thank you.
No, you're okay. Morals come from the individual. They can be taught or inherited. Sure.
And you taught me. Yeah, you taught me. If I feel wrong, if I don't have, if I have negative emotions towards them, or if I don't have any form of emotions that I shouldn't do it, then it's okay for me to do it. Thank you. You taught me.
Probably teach you about the consequences, not the moral standing. I probably couldn't.
So if I
teach
can
you
get away with
morals.
it, But so if I get away with it, it's okay. Okay, you're right. Thank you.
No, there's other consequences besides. Let's say you do get away. You no longer have a grandmother.
Oh, but that's what I want.
But
Yeah,
it
that's what I
only
prefer.
matters if you value said grandmother in this
I
sense.
don't.
If you don't
I don't
value the
value her.
grandmother, it really doesn't matter.
So then it's moral, right? If I don't value somebody, it's okay for me to take their life. So then you're
Okay.
essentially justifying exactly what the person did in the 1940s, because he did not value anybody else, then it would be okay for him to slaughter everybody else because he
For
didn't
him
value them.
individually,
You're right.
for
Thank you for
himself
proving it.
only. No, you're just going off the rails here. For him individually, his
Oh, but it
morals.
just happens that he has the same moral values as you do, right? It just happens that
No,
for him,
incorrect.
but for you it's the same.
Incorrect.
No, it is.
I don't
It's
think
exactly the
anyone
same.
should
It's
be
based on
killed
emotions.
unnecessarily. I
Wait
just said I
a
don't think
minute.
anyone should be killed
Wait a
unnecessarily or cold.
minute. Nobody should be killed unnecessarily. Do you need to kill a cow?
That's not a somebody. That's a cow.
Okay. So that's up to who to decide. They're a sentient being. They are a somebody.
That's up to the people in control.
That's up to the people in control. Okay, so essentially
Okay,
you just, like, again, so you have absolutely no logic in your values. You just
Hold
you
on,
just
wait a
derive
second.
whether something is moral
Hold
or
on.
not
There,
based on your emotions, and then
there can be
you say
some
that there is
logic.
a difference between you and a racist, or you and any other type of person who discriminates the same as you do based on emotions. Well,
I'm
no,
gonna
there
let you
is no
finish.
difference. You literally are discriminating. You are exactly the same as all these other beings. You are committing an injustice based on your emotions towards the victims. And FYI, there is such a thing as intrinsic value. If you're a sentient being, you value your experience of life. That is a property of sentience. That is the intrinsic value. The reason why it's wrong to harm a human being or an animal, it's not because of my value towards them, but rather because I acknowledge that them, much like myself, because I'm a sentient being, that them, on account of being a sentient being, they value their own experience also. So it's a form of a golden rule. I will not harm somebody because I would not want somebody to harm me. And I don't do it because there's a potential that somebody would harm me. I simply don't do it because I empathize with the idea as a sentient being that I would not want to be harmed in the process.
Okay, it's somewhat logical, but that is almost purely emotionally based.
No, it is not. I just explained to you.
That's
Explain to
purely
you which
emotionally
emotion I used.
based
Which
for
emotion did I use?
self-preservation.
Which emotion did I use?
Which emotion? A ton of them.
Yeah. Please.
That's just
Right.
begging the question, dude. List one.
Yeah, list the question. List the
Fear.
emotions.
Fear would be one of the emotions associated with that. You
Absolutely
don't want them,
no fear. Absolutely
you don't want
no fear
them to
in it.
harm you, so therefore
Nope.
you don't harm
That's
them.
exactly what I just explained to you in the end, and you didn't listen. It's not about them doing something to me. The reason why I apply the golden rule is because I treat others how I want others to treat me. And it's not because I'm afraid that they might treat me differently. It's not because of that. It's strictly because if logically all the people in the world would apply the golden rule, then all the people in the world would be happier because they would treat others how they themselves would want to be treated. It's only a form of logic. And morality is about how you treat others. Therefore, I draw my moral rules logically about how I should treat others.
Can I ask a question really quick? Is
I'm
morality
still waiting
set in
on the rest
stone?
of the emotions. I'm still waiting on the rest of the emotions. So fear was not one of them. Next.
I mean, that's what you say, but I would say for a lot of people it is. I'm asking,
Oh,
is
but not for
morality
me.
set
No.
in stone?
You said that my morality is set in emotions. Please explain which other emotions do I have?
Yeah, can I just ask really quick, like, do you think fear is required for desire or lack thereof?
No, I'm asking who is the moral authority?
I just wanted to know that question because you've just affirmed that fear is not required.
You keep
in the
asking questions.
circumstance
I'm
that you-
asking who
No, hold on.
sets
I'm
moral
just
authority?
saying. I just wanted to finish and wrap up this line of reasoning so we can squash it. You've just
Yeah.
affirmed that fear is not required in this line of reasoning, so there doesn't have to be emotion required in this line of reasoning. That's a blunder.
Okay, what other emotions have I been using to derive my moral values from?
Sure, I concede. You guys are right. There is no. It's not emotionally based. It is purely logical.
It is. It's not.
Okay.
It is. But do you think you should
I
be
concede
driving?
on that point. I have no argumentation towards that. You are right. I am wrong.
Okay, so then as much
Now
as I
I'm
would
going to
love
ask
to,
my question.
as much as I would love that,
Who
why
is
would
the
I care
moral
about that?
authority?
Because the problem is that you are exploiting and slaughtering sentient
I'm just
beings.
going to keep asking the same
I
question.
could give 2 cents about me being right or wrong. It's about not exploiting sentient beings. It's about that. Can you stop exploiting sentient beings? That's what we're trying to do here.
Who is the moral authority? Who sets that?
You are.
I set my own moral values. Yeah.
Right.
You
It's
just said it's
individual.
subjective. It's
Correct?
subjective.
Right. Subjective, which means there is no right or wrong answer, which means if you say it is
But
wrong to kill animals and
Tomo,
make them suffer, you are
know when
correct.
morality is bad, or the morality that you create, the subjective morality that you create, the rules that you create are bad when they have logical inconsistency. And your set of values have logical inconsistency, as we've proven, whereas ours don't. And what we're trying to explain to you is that when you have logical inconsistency in your moral set of values, you end up in the same position as the person in the 1940s who committed the same atrocities, because their set of moral values were logically inconsistent.
Yeah, I'm going to have to ask again, Tom, since you're like so bent on it. Do you believe that preference is a valid justification to oppress others?
Preference? I mean, not entirely.
Well, when you're talking about like subjective morality, that's essentially what you're invoking. So I'm asking, do you think that preference itself is a valid justification?
For what act?
Oppressing others.
It depends on the persons you're oppressing or being.
Okay, so just so everybody heard, like it depends on the person or being. So it is acceptable in Tom's worldview that you can oppress based on your preference, depending on like the person or the being. Tom,
I would say
your
if someone
position
is
just got reductioed pretty hard.
okay,
Yeah.
I would say let's just go down the line. Let's say the Holocaust, for example. I would say that is morally unjustified.
Why?
Completely. It's
Why?
terrible.
Why?
That's the way I feel. I don't
Why?
exactly know. It's needless killing of beings that I hold value to.
So you just make emotional arguments constantly, right? So all you do is derive moral set of values based on emotions. You're saying it's wrong because you feel it
there
to
is
be
much
wrong.
logical consideration when it comes to morals.
There is. We just explained to you the logical set of values that we hold are logical. Sentient beings have a subjective experience of life and the world, and that subjective experience also comes with a certain property called they value their own experience.
Wait,
It would
so
be
just-
wrong for me to manipulate or take away their experience because they're a sentient being who values their own experience.
Just so I'm clear though, like are you saying that logic is not required for like determining moral actions?
I'm sorry, repeat that. I'm getting ready.
Are you implying that logic is not a requirement for determining like moral frameworks or actions?
No, I'm not saying it's not required, but in like this argument that really started with like veganism, most of the appeals are going to be emotional. Like you're going to compare.
Let's check this out. Like the
a
appeals are
sentient
not
being to a
emotional. We
sentient
already
being.
None of our
already
appeals.
quashed that. Like there's
Yeah.
nothing. There's no
Nothing is
emotion required in
emotional.
this.
Okay,
So I'm
Your
just going to ask
your
you,
appeals
Tom,
are
I don't
really
want to cut you
emotional.
guys off.
Hold up, Tom. I'm just going to ask you:
time
Do you
out.
believe that it? Do you believe it is ethically
I
permissible
literally
to
don't have time. Are
unnecessarily
you guys
exploit
going to be
other
on live
sentient
later?
beings?
Okay, hold on. You're not listening. Are you guys going to be on live later?
Universe in the chat will. If you want to follow him, he'll be on live,
Yeah.
and we can pick this up later.
Yeah.
Universe? Yeah, I have to go. I have to work. I would say I'll look into it more. I'll think about it. But as of right now, it seems like I don't really have an argument for you. Besides, it's mostly emotional responses that I'm kind of putting out there. Like
So you're
I
the
put more
emotional
moral
one.
value on one thing than another. Yeah,
So
I would
you're
say
the
it's an emotional argument.
Yeah, we're the logical
Now,
ones,
if
and
you
you're the
argue about
emotional
something
one.
else, I can go. If you argue about, let's say, I don't know, fucking religion, for example, I could go purely logical there. But again, there's also going to be an emotional response as well. But I really enjoyed this conversation. Thank you guys. You've been like super cool. I hope we can pick this up later.
Sure.
Well, I appreciate you coming up, Tom. You have a great rest today, and hopefully we hear from you soon. Maybe you'll check into Universe if Universe goes live. I saw you say yep and nope, Universe, so I don't know if you're going live or not.
Hey, guys, thanks for having me. I need to hop off and go do some like walking. So,
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm
I
gonna
amazing,
appreciate you
Russell.
having me up.
I was gonna say thank you so
Great
much for being up
arguments, man.
here. Yeah.
Take
Yeah,
it easy.
thank
Feel
you.
good. Feel good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
See you later.
See ya. Awesome. Yeah, I'm only going to be up here. I think I'm going to do one more guest and then I'll probably call it as well. But yeah, if you guys end up feeling like, because sometimes they go on long, if you need to step down, totally understandable.
Yeah, no, they were having their conversation, so.
Yeah. If
I mean,
go ahead.
I was gonna go, but I want to stay for one more. I'm just like, everybody has this misunderstanding of morality, and the veil of ignorance is a very important part of it. And it is essentially just that. When you decide what is moral or immoral towards an individual, you should not know the race, sex, or species of that individual. All you need to know is that they're an individual. That's it.
Yep. Exactly. They care about what happens to them. They don't prefer to suffer. They prefer to be comfortable, and that's all that matters. But, yeah,
Exactly right.
Let's get someone else up here. I just want to see if. Okay, I'll bring you up. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Akibarato? Burrito? AK?
Hello?
Hi. Are you over 18?
Yeah, I'm 19.
Okay. How do I pronounce your name, or what can I call you?
Just, you can call me Burrito. That's fine.
Burrito? Okay.
Okay.
Right on. So, why aren't you vegan?
Because plants don't have over 15 nutrients.
They don't have what?
Over 15 nutrients.
15.
Over 15 nutrients? Can you explain what that means? Because I'm actually a nutritionist.
He's been on live before. I remember his name, and he's kind of. But
Okay.
you guys can take it. Same right here. See what.
I appreciate the heads up, though.
So if I told you that plants have all 20 amino acids that we digest, including the 9 essential ones, does that mean, is that not true to you? Or what does that mean to you?
No, some plants do have all 9 essential amino acids, like tofu, but other plants, like beans, might not have all essential amino acids.
They do.
But no,
They
not
contain
beans.
all essential amino acids, just in different variant quantities. They're not a quote-unquote complete protein, but a complete protein does not have to be from one single ingredient. If you have beans, for example, and you match it with brown rice, you get a complete protein source. So why would it matter?
Yeah, but for example, in tofu, some of the amino acids are so low that you can barely even use them.
Source?
Like a study?
I want the source for your claims. You're making empirical claims. That requires empirical data.
I don't got a study on me right now.
Okay, so you don't have any empirical claims. Then let's skip the empirical claims.
Okay.
So what's holding you back? What's keeping you from living in alignment with, I'm sure, your own principles to not use animals when it's not necessary?
I don't know. I feel like it's a part of nature because all animals, like there's no animal that is 100% vegan on Earth.
Of course.
Every animal like eats bones still and like small insects.
I'm vegan.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but
I'm
like,
vegan. I'm an animal.
Yeah, I know, but like other animals, they're not even like vegan themselves. Even herbivores.
What animals
they also
drive
eat
cars?
plants. Like what?
What animals on this planet drive cars?
What does that prove?
I'm curious, because that should mean that you should also not drive a car, because no animal on this planet drive cars.
No, humans are superior to any animal, so.
Oh, okay, so we can do things that they can't. So that means you can be vegan if they can't. Thank you.
No, we actually can't, because we still can't get all our nutrients. And
Source?
if you go, you might be malnourished because 50%.
Source?
Okay, 50%. For example, I'm giving it. 50% of women.
No,
for example,
you're just making statements. You're not giving sources.
Name of a study or
is Google fine? Is Google fine for you if you Google and the first search comes up? Is that fine?
If you tell me exactly what to Google, let's see.
Okay, just Google. Is it true that 50% to 45% of the population can't convert beta carotene into vitamin A?
take a supplement?
It's always this argument.
Yeah. Why does that mean? Are you one of those people?
50%. So it means
Are
like
you one of those people?
you're already putting yourself at risk. I don't know.
Are you one of
I
those
didn't do a
people?
blood test yet.
Oh, okay. So if you're not one of those people, what morally justifies you forcing sentient beings into slaughterhouses?
I don't know if I'm one of those people.
Okay, so why don't you try then? You can find out
But
if you're one of those
even
people.
if you're not one of those people, the other 50% that can convert beta carotene, they can barely convert any. They're converting it in such a small amount,
Okay.
which will not get them
Okay.
enough
So
vitamin A.
can they supplement vitamin E?
Vitamin A.
Can they supplement vitamin A?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay, there you go. Thank you. So if they can supplement vitamin A, what morally justifies the exploitation, abuse, and
No,
slaughter
I
of
don't know how
sentient
vitamin
beings?
A supplements are made. Some supplements are actually not going to benefit you at all. For example, the vitamin D supplement will not benefit you a lot.
Have a
So
bad
you're
habit
saying
of
that a
making
person?
claims with no science.
Some supplements, like especially
Source.
Let me give you the source. Some supplements, especially vegan supplements, are mostly irradiated vegetable oil.
Source.
Search it up.
Nope. I'm done searching. You're gonna have to start providing empirical evidence for your
saying this.
claims.
You never provide anything, but you say this all the time.
Yeah, I got a question. How long did this take to make, like, for the bees?
Probably a lot.
It's
But
mad
I
good,
have a
bro.
question for you. Are you for or against sexual exploitation of animals?
Against.
Okay. Did you know that in order for cows to produce milk, they have to forcefully impregnate them?
Not all cows. The cows in my village are impregnated by other male cows because they're pasture raised.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, because they're pasture raised, that means they're impregnated by other males?
No,
Sure.
I've seen it
That doesn't
myself.
mean that, but okay.
They don't do that
Yeah.
in my country.
Oh, you look at cows when they impregnate. Why do you look at cows when they have sex?
I don't. I just know.
Oh, but you said you see it yourself.
No, I just know. They don't do that.
So we found a contradiction. Do you see it yourself or do you not see it yourself?
No, I didn't see it myself, but I know.
Okay, so how do you know then whether they're using artificial insemination or that they're keeping the bull separate and then putting the bull with the female?
People in my village don't even know how to do that, bro. I'm telling you, I 100% know that they.
What do you think happens when the cow can't get pregnant?
They're slaughtered for meat.
Okay, and you think that's fair, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and if we did that to dogs, it would also be fair, right?
Maybe.
Okay. Oh, perfect. So if we did that to wait, maybe or yes? Because with cow you said yes.
Like for me, because of religious beliefs, it would maybe be prohibited. But if it wasn't, then yes.
Oh, okay. So it's because the daddy in the sky said so. Okay,
No, it's not because of that. It's because of all of your nutrients that you can get from plants.
But if you can get 10 times more, first of all, you can get all the nutrients from plants. That is empirically false, what you're saying there. We have data showing that you can thrive on a plant-based diet. I will give you the PMID right now. Can you write it down?
Okay.
Sure. Give me 1 second. I have a ton of PMIDs. 2685393.
Okay.
Okay. So now you agree that you can thrive on a plant-based diet?
No.
What type of data do you need to see to believe that you can thrive on a plant-based diet?
What does thrive mean? Does it mean survive? Yeah, you could survive.
No, it means
but you'll
healthy.
Be
No. It means be healthy on a plant-based diet. What type of data do you need to see to believe that you can be healthy on a plant-based diet?
Dude, you can show me man-made studies all you want, but if we use our own logic here,
can you explain to me your logic?
Like you can get cholesterol from plant-based diet, and if you say your body creates cholesterol. Yeah, exactly. You're gonna say that, but your body can't create enough cholesterol. You need more than that, way more than that.
Oh, how much cholesterol do you need, and how much does your body produce?
You tell me how much our bodies produce.
Oh, okay. So you don't know any of it. Okay, so you made an empirical claim saying that your body. Okay, so tell me exactly how much cholesterol does your body need, and how much does your body not produce?
More than 100 minimum, like more than 150. That's for sure. You need more cholesterol than that.
It's clear. And you don't know shit. That's fine. You have absolutely no nutritional knowledge, and then you claim here making empirical claims yet again. Do you have any type of sources to back your claims? And I ask you yet again the question: what type of evidence do you need to see to believe that you can thrive on a plant-based diet?
Show me that you can convert beta carotene into vitamin A.
So what type of evidence, I hope you understand the question. What type of evidence do you need to see
The evidence that
To
you can get
believe that
vitamin
you
A.
can be healthy on a plant-based diet.
I need evidence that you can get vitamin A.
Okay, so I just gave you evidence that you can be healthy on a plant-based diet. What type of evidence do you need to see to believe that you can be healthy on a plant-based diet?
The evidence that we can convert beta carotene into vitamin A.
I'll ask you yet again, because even if you cannot convert beta carotene into vitamin E, you can supplement vitamin E. So
Vitamin
what type of
A,
evidence
vitamin A, bro. Are you
vitamin
listening?
A? So what type of
Surely,
evidence do you
surely you're
need
the
to see to
nutritionist here,
thrive on a
right?
plant-based diet? I'll ask
Surely
you
you're
the
the
last time.
nutritionist here talking about
I'll ask
vitamin
you
E.
for the last time, what type of evidence do you need to see that you can thrive on a plant-based diet?
I said it more than 4 times.
Okay, so you don't know what type of evidence you
No,
need to
I
see.
said it more than 4
Do you
times.
know? Do you know what the types of evidence are? Do you know what the pyramid of evidence is, for example?
Why are you ignoring my questions?
Do you know what the pyramid of evidence is?
Tell me.
Do you know what the pyramid of evidence is?
What does that have to do with beta carotene?
So
You're
do you
changing
know
the
what the
topic.
pyramid of evidence is?
You're changing the topic.
Do you know what the pyramid of evidence is?
Are you good, bro? Why you keep changing the topic? I asked you about beta carotene.
No, we started from the beginning. What type of evidence do you need to see to believe that you can thrive on a plant-based diet?
I'll name like 40, okay? First of all, you can't get enough cholesterol. Second of all, you can't get enough vitamin A. Third of all, there's so
Can
much
you
other
mute
nutrients.
this person? Can you mute this person? Okay, so I don't think we're getting anywhere, and I don't think you're being even genuine for the least, because I'm asking you a pretty simple question. What type of evidence do you need to see to believe that you can be healthy on a plant-based diet? In other words, I understand what your statements are, I understand what your beliefs are, but what do you need to see to convince you that your beliefs are not correct?
Yeah, we can't hear you if you teacup.
Oh, he went into ChatGPT to find
No,
the
I'm not a
best argument.
ChatGPT. Just give me a second.
I mean, it's fine if you did, but the point is, like, why are you trying to find a way to abuse animals? You're like,
No, I swear to God, I'm not a ChatGPT. I have my
no,
own.
that's not what I said. I said, why are you trying so hard to defend harming animals?
Because I believe it's like.
Wouldn't you prefer
needed.
a world, though, where you could get everything you needed without harming animals? Wouldn't that be preferable?
I'm not gonna answer because that doesn't matter if I would prefer it or not. It's just
No,
not
it
gonna
sounds
happen.
like you just don't want to actually have a conversation. You just want to be contrarian.
If humans were herbivores, then I would.
So you're proving my point.
All the time.
Yeah, you're just yapping. Like, we're trying to say you should stop kicking dogs. Wouldn't you tell someone to stop kicking dogs?
No, but you're saying that
Would you tell people to stop kicking dogs? Or would you let them keep kicking dogs because it's in their
For what
family?
purpose?
For fun.
No, I would go
What's
against it
wrong
for
with
fun.
kicking dogs for fun?
Because there's no benefit.
I get benefit. I get great exercise and it brings my family together. So why can't I kick dogs for fun?
Because there's no actual benefit. You're just being sarcastic.
You're the one saying there's no benefit. I'm telling
Workout.
you, I'm getting benefits. Exactly. I'm exercising. My grandma gets up. She doesn't get up very often. So when we get the dog out to kick, it's fantastic. It's like the only way to get her to exercise.
Exercising is actually not good for you. Because it spikes your
Dude,
cortisol.
all right, we're done.
No,
Get out of here.
So cholesterol is not made by the body. Exercise is not good for you.
Wow.
This person is gonna die very, very
I
young.
think he's taken like a discussion that has occurred in like science where excessive exercise is not good for you. Sure.
Sure, yeah.
But also the inverse of that of never exercising ever is one of the worst things you could ever do for your body.
Exactly. That's why I was trying to bring my grandma into it. Be like, she doesn't get up much. So, the benefit is she's finally out of her seat. She's excited. We're all together.
So, and FYI, and the people who cannot convert beta carotene into vitamin A, first of all, that is not a thing. They just have low conversion rates.
Right.
FYI, I actually looked it up right now because of it. So low conversion does not mean deficiency, first of all. And second, yet again, you can supplement.
I was reading there's like even little tricks you can do. You can eat your carotenoid foods with fat because they're fat
Yeah,
soluble, so that helps
exactly.
you absorb it better. So it's
That's most
about
of the time the issue. Yeah, that's the reason
Yeah.
why people don't absorb it is because they don't eat it with fat. Yeah.
yeah, and
I
you
pulled
know,
up.
oh, what was that?
I was gonna say I pulled up this clip of Dr. Matthew Nagra, who really concisely explains like this whole argument about vitamin A. If you want me to play the clip.
Yeah, sure. We're at the end of the thing. I'm not going to take any more guests up. But by the way, hello,
Yeah.
Keith. Welcome up. Good to see
Hello.
you. Yeah.
Hey, Keith.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah, we'd love to
This
hear
claim
the
is
short clip.
bonkers and appears to be just pulled out of thin air. We convert provitamin A carotenoids like beta carotene into retinol or vitamin A. Carrots contain about 10 milligrams of beta carotene per 100 grams, and those carotenoids have about a 15-to-1 conversion ratio to vitamin A. That means you'd have to consume about 135 grams or just over half a cup of mashed carrots in order to meet the RDA for vitamin A of 900 micrograms of retinol equivalents. Yet he's claiming you'd have to consume about 22 times that amount without any evidence. And even if I were to be generous and calculate the needs for somebody with both copies of the BMOC1 genetic variant, which impairs conversion by a whopping 69%, they could still get enough vitamin A by just consuming about 2 cups of the carrots, and even less if they were relying on orange sweet potatoes instead. And to further emphasize how little of an issue this is compared to how he's presenting it, that's without counting any vitamin A that you would get from other food sources. So it's really not that hard to meet your vitamin A needs by eating plants. Needless to say,
Yeah. It's absurd.
That's pretty absurd. Yeah, that was one I haven't looked into recently. Yeah, 2 cups of carrots. Big whoop. Or even less if you eat orange sweet potatoes, which are delicious.
He always brings that up.
It's too bad that there's people regularly going on lives, and I know they do this in Discord too, that they hear all the evidence and they still try to make these claims that have been debunked to their faces over and over again. It's really sad to see that.
What he just wrote in the comments. What he wrote in the comments is too funny.
Oh, now he's complaining that we've cultivated plants when he won't complain about cows or chickens, who are also essentially man-made animals that we took and domesticated and selectively bred year over year. So it's like, what are we talking about here?
Exactly.
That's why I feel like he's just being contrarian.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and cholesterol, your body produces between 800 and 1,000 milligrams of cholesterol every day. And if you're going to be eating dietary cholesterol, your body is just going to produce less. You don't need more than what your body produces. And in fact, consuming cholesterol in general is associated with elevated risk of ApoB and other health markers. Well, ApoB and LDLC. And if you have high ApoB, you have a direct correlation with heart disease. So no, cholesterol is best to reduce it as much as possible. And cholesterol, there's no such thing as good cholesterol or bad cholesterol. That's just another way of calling because cholesterol is cholesterol. Then we have saturated fat and unsaturated fat. Unsaturated fat is what we would call good cholesterol. So it's just
Actually, you bring up something that I wanted to say before. There was someone I was talking to, I think on last Monday's live, and I said something like, because there's this terrible theory going around that specifically men, but people in general also just need to eat dietary cholesterol for some reason. And I said, well, if you wanted that, I don't think it's healthy, but if you wanted that, there are vegan supplements for cholesterol, which there is not. I had to go look this up.
No.
There is a way, though, to increase your cholesterol. If you were one of those very rare cases, you can eat like coconut oil, like you said, the saturated fats. And that will also do the same job. But dietary cholesterol for the majority of us, like great majority of us, is not healthy to consume.
Yeah, the only individuals that would need, by any stretch of the imagination, dietary cholesterol would be someone with like Ehlers disease. And that's like very, very, very rare.
Very, very rare. And even if I was one of those people, right, I'm still not going to use that as an excuse to use animals. I'd be finding every way I could to get it through plants, because it's just, I don't want to accept.
Yeah, because even then,
Yeah.
Yeah, even then you can still go to plants, and if you don't have a solution from plants, you can go to the least amount of capability of sentience, right? The least probability that they're sentient, right? And then like it's just intellectually lazy to say, well, I have to kill a cow because I need cholesterol. No, that's just intellectually lazy.
It's very intellectually lazy. I agree. And cowardly too, because you don't want to think hard because you might have to make some small change and that might be slightly inconvenient. But who has it worse? You having some slight inconvenience or the animal that's being used or forced in the slaughterhouse,
Right. Exactly.
Anyway. All right, guys. I'm gonna call it there. I appreciate y'all being here. I'm gonna run down real quick who's up here. Please go check out Lori. Oh yeah, it's opposite. Go check out Lori, Two Spirit Veg. She's on a lot of people's lives. So if you follow her, you'll see other vegans that are live, and she's just a plethora of great knowledge. So she has an interesting background. Yeah, a great person to ask questions. And then next we have that Chip guy. I normally see him on YouTube. He's here on TikTok now. And he does great street outreach, so I definitely encourage people to go watch him. He goes live and he'll even interact with the chat. So you're there, it's like you're talking, you're right there next to him. It's kind of fun. But you'll also learn a lot. So please go follow him. Check him out also on his TikTok. And then below that we have Keith, who also is a strong animal rights advocate. He definitely knows his shit when it comes to, especially when we're having these conversations. So I really appreciate Keith being up here. He's a plethora of knowledge. And like I said, he also puts out great activism content, but he's on a lot of vegan lives too. So he's just a great person to follow to see when he's live or when others are live and ask him great questions because he's got a depth of knowledge. Did you guys want to say anything?
Yep, exactly. Oh, no, it seemed like you had some pretty good conversation today.
Yeah. I think we all did.
Yeah, I want to say that Anna also is an excellent animal rights activist, Vegan Standard Lady. So you should follow Vegan Standard Lady on here on TikTok.
Thank you.
Yeah, YouTube and Instagram also.
Yep. Yes, thank you so much. Actually, you guys reminded me real quick. I'll pull up my image. So I'll be live this Saturday on Anti-Animal Use, their YouTube. We'll be live from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. PST time on the ground, doing what Chip does, interviewing people and asking them about fairness, testing their fairness, seeing if they're actually being logically consistent. So please go check us out this Saturday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. PST time. Really appreciate it. Yeah, Rebecca, she is amazing. She's actually my co-founder of Anti-Animal Use. Her and I both put in a lot of effort to try to make, just a space that other activists can come out and stand up for animals. Because sometimes it's just about, having someone provide that space because you don't maybe have all the tools to do it yourself. And I just want everyone, Joe Schmo, to get out there. We need everyone speaking up for the animals. Yeah. So with that said, I appreciate everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, you can see my house. Don't look at me.
When are you going to be live again? When are you going to be live again?
Oh, I'll be live on Friday. Yeah, I'll be live on TikTok Friday, a little after 4:22ish, and then Saturday 10 a.m. on Anti-Animal Use on YouTube, not here, but YouTube.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Okay. Appreciate y'all being here. I'm going to thank everyone in the chat. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you all my mods. Thank you to all my vegans. Thank you for keeping the chat safe and productive. Thank you for talking to people and keeping people questioning. Oh no, sorry, I hit something. Questioning what they're doing, seeing if they're actually living in alignment with their own principles. So thank you guys for all doing that. Thank you for being here and supporting. Thank you for being activists yourself because the animals need you. And with that, I'll say goodbye. You guys have a great vegan day. Go check out Universe. He's probably going to go live after this. Or follow Keith. I don't know if you're going to go live after this, but definitely go follow some vegans, okay?
Yeah. Have a good one.
All right. See you guys. All right, YouTube. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here and supporting. And again, thank you for keeping the chat safe. Thank you for participating in the voting, by the way. I tried to do it on TikTok, and I'd only get one vote, which is ridiculous. So I really appreciate you guys being active. That's awesome. So yeah, you guys have a great day, and I will see you on Friday a little after 4:20ish, 4:22ish, we'll say. Okay. All right, guys, have a great day. Vegan day. Have a great vegan day.